Welcome to Swish and Flick, an all-Potter podcast.
Swish and flick. Everyone? Swish and flick.
Hello and welcome to episode 94 of Swish and Flick. I'm Tiffany.
I'm Megan.
I'm Katie.
I don't know, I'm me.
This episode is sponsored by whoever wrote that. Not nice. Catherine Jane. Thank you, Catherine.
Also, all they wrote was your mom, not something mean about Catherine.
Oh, that's also
you said your
true.
mom.
Your meme. Oh,
I wonder who would write that.
I was like, is this coming out on Mother's Day?
So
It's
immature.
not. Today we will be discussing chapter 23 of Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, the Yule Ball. So make sure that you have read the chapter and you're ready to prance into the field of details. Thank you, Jessica.
Yeah. What would have been like a funny Christmas-themed one?
What? No. What?
Prance?
I'm just thinking. Yeah, Prance is a good Christmassy
is a
thing.
good- like
Dancer.
Prancer.
Dancer.
Yeah, because it's a
We can
Yule Ball,
prance
it's
and
Christmas
dance.
time. We're talking about Christmas in this episode. That's why I'm saying that.
Christmas.
All he wants for Christmas is Cho to go to the ball with him.
And Hermione wants 2 regular front teeth.
Well,
I will
gets
say
them.
one Christmas
She gets them.
I did sing that song because I had no 2 front teeth because they came out at the same time, roughly.
Things we learn.
My 2 front teeth.
Before we begin, Megan has some super cool weekly profits.
I have giant
That was an
news.
accident that I said it like that.
I have giant news.
She has giant news that we're going to get to see.
So, all right. So, Universal
Take a shot.
posted pictures of the new Hagrid animatronic on the Hagrid roller coaster. And it looks amazing. I've said this again because I've like picked stuff about this ride like for 5 weeks in a row probably now because I'm just really excited about it. But I'm so happy that Universal is doing animatronics and not screens.
Preach.
Yeah, because now
Praise to the
don't have
Universal
to vomit.
gods for listening
What
to
are their
people's complaints.
names?
I don't know. Mythos.
I just want to say one thing about it. I'm not a huge fan of his hair.
Oh, I like it.
You know,
It's just not wild
you know
enough
what?
for me. It's too tame. That's all I'm saying.
That's something you would say.
Listen, he just saw Madame Maxime.
True.
Tried to
That's
brush
Sleek
it.
Easy's, baby.
But like, it's too. I'm not into it. I want wild, crazy. Like his beard is great, and it's just like he's got nice, slick curls next to.
Well,
not even curls.
Write a
like
tweet.
waves.
Write a tweet.
I don't have Twitter, so I can write one in my mind.
Universal is also claiming with this animatronic that it is the most advanced figure in their Orlando parks, which sets a pretty high standard because if you think about it, some other animatronics that we've seen from them would be
Dude, Kong.
the Kong animatronic. Yeah, Kong is
Really cool.
massive and cool, like
Where's that
so
at?
realistic.
I've never seen that one there.
I don't think that it was opened.
Oh, is
No,
it new?
maybe it was
It's
open.
newer,
when we,
but it
it's
has a
newer.
long line all the
It
time.
always has a really long
Yeah,
line.
I'm not
and
into
I'm just
that.
like, meh.
Well, what about
But-
online? Who cares about that guy?
Oh,
because it's a new ride.
Oh, okay.
What about the dragon?
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah,
Yeah.
the dragon too in Forbidden Journey.
That's my favorite part of the whole ride.
Don't remember. Was probably vomiting.
had her eyes closed most of the time.
Well, what did I?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so from that ride, I remember Harry being like, "Come on." I remember the Whomping Willow.
Did he
Yeah.
sound just
Aragog.
like Come
The
on.
dragon happened right before the Whomping Willow, I believe, right?
No, before Aragog.
Before Aragog.
Was vomiting because I remember
He
I
breathes
was
fire
like,
on you.
He breathes fire on you.
That's not a breathing fire.
yeah, I don't know.
Well, it's pretty cool. And then
He breathes fire. Tiffany blows vomits.
I mean,
Here's what I'm really looking forward to: is eating at the Three Broomsticks without the taste of vom.
oh, gross. I would say that it's not cool. It's pretty hot.
Okay. I know that I talk about throwing up there a lot, but it was really upsetting because I didn't get to see very much.
And it was the very first thing in the morning, too.
It
which,
was.
It was
Like once you
well,
like are
that's how
sick
you
in
gotta
the morning.
like, bypass the lines and stuff.
I mean,
it was a good in theory.
here's the thing, though. Should I have a snack ski before? Should I take a Dramamine? What should I do?
Just take a Dramamine.
Honestly,
take a
that's what I
Dramamine.
would
But
do.
it makes me so sleepy.
Then
Don't they
chug
have
coffee.
other ones like Bowmine or something? That's
I don't know, but we
non-drowsy? We'll have
like
to figure it
literally
out.
we need a plan for me so I don't really plan on doing any other rides except the new one.
fine.
I don't even want to do Gringotts again. I don't think because I think that was a legit fluke on my part for not barfing.
Yeah, I would agree because it's not that it's crazy, but it's like
I should've.
It's yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I'm surprised that you were fine because
So,
we are like, oh,
same.
you were fine in Gringotts, you're going to be fine on the Forbidden Journey.
Right, not the case. So,
Callie says that there's motion sickness glasses that you can wear.
shut the front door.
Also, Benadryl is supposed to be helpful. I've heard that too.
Benadryl can
That'll
make
for
you
sure
sleepy,
knock me
though.
out.
Yeah.
There's those
doesn't make me
bracelets
tired.
that you can wear.
Garbage.
Tiffany, I
I've
love you.
literally tried everything on our cruise and I still got sick.
But you also stopped taking your medicine because you didn't want to be sleepy, correct?
I fell asleep like at a steak dinner. That never happens.
She left. No, you didn't even come to the steak dinner when we went to the steakhouse. That's how you
the
knew
night
Tiffany
before.
wasn't feeling well. Tiffany didn't come for a steak dinner. Marty's like, yeah, she's in the room because
Yeah.
you didn't feel good.
It was bad.
Like, she's not feeling good if Tiffany's one, not eating, and two, definitely not eating steak.
True. That's my favorite food. It's one of my favorite food groups. Steak, potatoes. That's my pyramid.
And more steak.
Steak.
So yeah, if anybody has any motion sickness ideas for Tiff, send them my way.
Yeah, I'm open to all the possibilities. Also, the patch behind the ear didn't work for me, so don't throw that one my way.
She's tried them all,
It
guys.
was a prescription.
she's gonna
It didn't
be,
work.
Walking around Diagon Alley while Katie and I ride. Gringotts
No, it's
over
going to
and
be
over.
Ezra and I just sitting there eating ice creams.
There you go.
And probably spending way too much money.
Eating ice creams.
We like ice cream. Awkward silence.
That's my weekly profit.
Oh, that's it? Okay. Well, you don't want to talk about me barfing anymore? Let's move on. It's the run recap.
Oh.
That was a new one.
You're welcome.
All right. Last time, Harry finds out from McGee that he needs to find a date to the Yule Ball. Dun, dun, dun.
I'd also like to point out that Katie and I also need dates. Her wife never takes her on any, and I'm single,
Oh
so.
my god.
Katie, I told you I will take you on one.
We're going
Thank
to see
you.
Detective Pikachu this weekend.
I'm taking my
Let me know how that
mom
is because I'm like,
for Mother's Day.
so it's not a date.
It's like
not a
throwback to
date.
a high school kind of date when you were in like grade school.
Is she gonna sit in the middle?
We're gonna go
Save
audition
her
for Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah, we want to audition for Wheel of Fortune. That's our next date.
We're going tomorrow. Hashtag we're old now.
I would not be able to go on that show. I can't
wouldn't-
figure those
Oh,
puzzles out
Katie's
fast
so
enough.
good at it.
I'd rather
gonna
be
win
on
us money.
Jeopardy, which both of those I would not be good at
Oh, I'd
unless
say
it was like
Jeopardy-
Jeopardy for kids.
Jeopardy's my jam. You could do the elementary school version.
My dad was watching it and there was a question about had to do so with Alexander Hamilton and I got it right, but it's like I don't know if that's correct. I'm like, you watch it because it was from I knew it because of the
'Cause of the
musical
play.
because I listened to the soundtrack so much and I was like, yeah.
Look that day.
Anyways, recap please.
All right, so who will Harry choose?
We don't know.
Show. Nope. Choose again, Harry. Sorry.
It's like a magic 8-ball. Nope. Ask again later.
Try again later. Okay, fine. Pavarti will do.
Oh.
And Harry also does the work for Ron and gets him a date too. Meg, you should really talk to Harry because he's
Dude,
just giving dates out.
That is
everywhere.
like epic laziness on Ron's part.
I know.
He did ask someone.
He did. He shouted at her.
You shouted at her, really.
I do like that
you're
party
a
movie.
girl.
And
Well spotted.
Hermione and Ron have a fight because who knew that Hermione was a girl? So basically, this book should probably be called Ron Weasley and Hermione Granger: A Relationship in the Making.
Oh, I like that. That's cute.
Very
Thank
good.
you.
Well done. Well done.
Thank
I
you.
want to smack Ron in this chapter.
Hey, let's
Oh.
get there.
Alrighty, Rooski.
And Harry.
Someone
honestly.
has some feelings.
Oh, happy day.
It's Christmas.
It's finally Christmas time. Actually, I said Christmas times. There's food, presents, and even a ball. And we also get a letter from Sirius. Not we, but Harry.
I want to.
And then Dobby has what is probably his best Christmas
Yeah.
to date. And most of the students that stayed at school get ready for the Yule Ball. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. We find out a lot of things during this time, during the ball. Who is Hermione's date? We don't know, but we'll find out. You find out more about the other schools and even information about Crouch. And then you find some big news about Hagrid. Harry's told to take a bath, and I said he must smell. And Ron and Hermione have a big row in the common room.
So who was that? Who's that person?
Just me. Just Sarah.
It wasn't. It's someone else.
I think it's Sarah who's had a lot of coffee today.
Yeah, it could be true.
A lot. And cold brew typically has more caffeine, I believe.
Really?
Yeah.
What does?
Do I
Cold
like
brew.
cold brew?
I don't
I
know.
do.
If you like cold coffee,
I do.
You'd like a cold brew.
I think I like
It's a
cold
little
brew.
less acidic than like just a
Smoother.
cold coffee.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to get a cold brew this weekend.
It's just a little bit more expensive, but it's worth it.
What?
Typically.
We'll talk.
Okay.
Because this is about Harry Potter.
I want to hear
cold brew
about
coffee.
Christmas because it's my favorite time of year.
All right,
so
well,
tell me more, please.
Let's get in. So, the fourth years have been given a ton of homework to do over the holiday break, and
Right.
Harry's in no mood to do any work. Why would he be, though? Let's be honest.
But
All he
also-
wants to do is enjoy time with his friends.
He also doesn't have finals at the end of the year, so how much does he really need to put into it?
Yeah, but you still want an edumacation.
Does he, though?
Yes.
He's the chosen one.
Here's the thing, though, about him. Like, you figure he would be. If I came from like a Muggle family, I would be all about magic. You know what I
Devouring that
mean?
stuff.
But I also think, too, that
He's getting
he has
used to it.
Well, he has some natural ability. And coming from someone that some education is a little easier for me, I don't put into as much effort, which I should. If I could go back in time, I would. So listen, kids, pay attention in school, do your homework, work hard, don't just skate by.
Don't bother your teacher at the end of the year. Give them a break.
But I think for him, because stuff comes easy, he's just like, I don't have to work as hard, so I just want to relax. And
I
not
don't want to do the work
I don't want to.
today.
Yeah, exactly. Like I just want to sit back, relax, and not study.
Yeah, but I really can't blame him. Like, if you're gonna pile homework on me on a holiday,
Oh, that's the worst.
That
Get
was
at it,
always the
Sam.
worst, man.
get out of here. I am made to send home packets, but I always I do like a page of work, and then I do like a fun coloring page, and then I do a page of work, and then I do like a puzzle page that are like winter themed. So I try to make it fun. A little bit about me. Let's move back to the book. So Harry's pretty much used to having an empty common room for the holidays, but this year it seemed to be shrinking because of the amount of people who decided to stay. I think that would annoy me.
I would agree.
Yeah, same.
You know, sometimes even now, I really like my alone time. And not just because I have so much going on. Even before that, I like to just sometimes
just
I just
nice.
like to sit, be alone, read a book, play a video game, just sit.
I just told Tiffany.
Which
Tiffany
Tiffany?
that there's some days where because I live with a million other people because they still live at home, that I want to go home and not have anyone there.
Just the quiet,
just
yeah.
to be alone.
Sometimes I drive home from work with no sound.
So that's great, isn't it?
It lets you just decompress before you get
Yeah.
back into life. But I said that means the Yule Ball is clearly a big deal. If that many people are staying, yeah, it's a dance and we haven't seen anything like this, and the tournament's now back, so I can imagine that most people who are allowed to go would stay.
Just curious because a lot of
Sure.
people had issues with Hermione in the last book staying, Ron and Hermione staying for
Staying-
Christmas break.
Why?
Because they're if it was my kid,
Be
they
with
would
your
go
family.
home. Blah,
yeah.
blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
Which is fine. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, but I want to know how people feel about them staying now because there's a ball. All of these kids, how would their, you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Okay, Swishers, tell us.
I'm just curious.
As a parent, me personally, I think that this would be totally different than any other time.
Correct. I think I'd be excited.
I'd be excited for them.
It would still make me sad though. That doesn't
Yeah.
mean it wouldn't be
But would you have
oh, Christmas
how would you have
break."
felt if you were Hermione's parents? I would rather not that it wouldn't. I wouldn't have an issue if she had written to me being you know what, my friend, the whole situation third year. I would have been that's fine. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Versus now, it's still think I'd be
I think
have
her
your
parents
fun.
are very logical people.
Yeah.
To be this tournament's clearly a big deal. Because I'm sure she writes to them on the reg. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So. But good news is canary creams are all the rage. People are bursting into feather all over the place. And because of this, people were very cautious about what they would be eating. And I said, not everybody wants to be a bird.
Can I just tell a funny story? Because I know in the book they were talking about they were afraid to eat anything because they're
Right.
there could be a hidden canary cream in it. One time I took baker's chocolate to school. I was in 7th or 8th grade. And I was convincing several people. I'm oh my God, you guys, we bought the best chocolate.
Oh my God.
I've never tasted anything
You're
like it before in my
so
life.
rude.
It's so good. I got at least one person to eat it. They were this is horrible. It was pretty funny. So I would be that person that would hide the
You would.
snack.
You
I've
would.
always wanted to do something where you put toothpaste inside an Oreo instead of the cream, but I don't know if I could ever be that.
Never gonna eat
mean.
an Oreo from you.
I can't tamper
totally-
with food.
My cousin likes to pull pranks on people all the time. That's something she would do.
Oh my gosh.
Like she would tie like a rubber band around like the thing on the sink.
Yeah.
So like her dad is turned on.
I've
and then
gotten
she,
that
like,
many
I
a
did that.
times.
But she does it where like she catches it on tape, so she's got his reaction.
On
I
tape,
did that to my
90s
dad
kid.
one year, and he laughed so hard. He was like, "You really got me."
That's good spirit.
He caught him on a good day.
George,
That's cool about that stuff.
yeah. George ends up confiding in Harry that they are now developing something new, and Harry told himself to never accept so much as a crisp from Fred and George.
I love it.
Which I think is wise.
It's probably smart even pre Weasley's Wizard Wheezes.
Room. So now at Hogwarts, there's this thick snow falling, and it is covering the pale blue Beauxbaton's carriage, and it looked like a chilly frosted pumpkin next to the gingerbread house that was Hagrid's cabin.
I love that description.
I said, what
Yes.
a visual.
Yeah, I love that.
It makes me think of their carriage makes me think of Cinderella's
Yep.
carriage.
I was gonna say the same thing. That also reminds me of my monogram.
It is. We talked about this today. The house elves were taking advantage of the chilly weather and making warming stews and savory puddings. And Fleur
Ugh.
was the only person to complain about
I
this.
don't like that you call her that. And I know
I
you
did
do.
that on purpose.
I know you do.
Okay.
I think you do it because you know I don't
Fleur.
like it.
Fleur.
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 Floor.
Fleur. 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 Is that right? Fleur.
Fleur. Like fleur de lis.
Fleur. Fleur says. It is too heavy. All these Hogwarts food.
Oh, that was nice.
I'm not doing that ever again, by the way.
It also just sounds tasty to me.
That's what I was saying. Like every time it's cold, like I want a soup. Give me a good
Or-
soup, a chili, a
Yep.
stew.
My dad's chili on a nice chilly day. Put some football on. Yes,
Dude,
But you know
chili
what?
is the all-time food, man.
Pot roast year round.
for sure.
Year round.
Do they have vegan pot roast?
It's not
Or
as
like
good.
that really good brisket.
Literally, some things cannot just be replaced.
I'm sorry,
I
you
know.
guys.
It's okay. It's my choice.
We're still
Sorry.
gonna be making it though.
It's okay.
I think there'll be more for us. You can have it. I can have it.
Thank you for being vegan.
Maybe I'll try to learn how to make brisket. Although I'm sure Marty's is better.
You want a tofu brisket?
I'll try it.
I'll look at how that goes. They heard Fleur saying that grumpily as they left the Great Hall behind her one evening. Ron is skulking behind Harry, keen not to be spotted by Fleur. And she's like, I will not fit into my dress robes. And Hermione, ooh, there's a tragedy. She snapped. But I said, lols, oh, Herm. But at this time where I was writing this, I like felt what Fleur was saying on a personal level because I was like way too full. We had a teacher appreciation lunch. I don't eat fried things usually because
Oh,
they-
that'll mess you
doesn't
up.
happen, but I ate fried chicken and I have no regrets. None.
regrets.
No regrets.
No regrets, man.
We're cool.
And speaking of Ron and Hermione, he keeps springing a question on Hermione about who she's going to the ball with, and she keeps saying no because they're going to make fun of her. I don't think would happen.
No.
She is totally wrong about that.
No, they'll just be mad.
They,
Correct.
Not
Well,
true.
Harry doesn't care.
I literally, he was like, I don't care.
Ron is jealous city party of one.
1000%.
Yeah. So, luckily,
It's his own fault.
here comes Malfoy. And I think I've said that like 1,000 times on this podcast because he always like
Strolls
saunters in like just the right time. Swaggers in, right? He has swagger. You're joking, Weasley, said Malfoy behind them. You're not telling me someone's asked that to the ball? Not the long-mollared mudblood? And Herm hits back at him with a sick burn. Harry and Ron both whip around, but Hermione says loudly, waving to somebody over Malfoy's shoulder, "Hello, Professor Moody." And Malfoy goes pale, jumps backwards, looking wildly around for Moody. But Moody was still up at the staff table. Judy, finishing his stew. Twitchy little ferret, aren't you, Malfoy? Sucks to suck.
Yeah, but I still don't like it because that was rude that he did that. And now he has like a little PTSD. I'm just saying. It is completely wrong that Judy did that.
Yeah.
I just want
But I'm also kind of glad that Hermione used it against him.
I mean,
Because
can't be-
Malfoy would
can't
do
be
that
throwing
against
mud,
them.
For
mud
sure.
blood around, man.
Yeah, he
I
just
know.
dropped
I know.
the word
He's not
mudblood,
nice, but
so.
that does not mean You can't fight fire with fire.
Eye for an eye, man.
No.
We're just going
Eye
rogue.
for an eye would make the whole world blind, Tiffany.
Then we
Turn the other cheek.
It's got real deep.
Just saying.
So deep. Sweaty. So sweaty.
Go Hermione.
What is that? Anyways, the trio continues up the steps, laughing heartily with each other, and Ron notices that there's something different about Hermione and her teeth now that Malfoy mentions it. Her teeth are straight and normal size. Can I just point out the fact that I don't remember, because it mentions straight and normal size. I thought her teeth were just larger.
Big. Yeah.
I never remember them being crooked in any way.
Mentions
She
later
said
on
they
that her
were
parents
buck
wanted her to
teeth?
get braces.
Braces, yeah, but I
So-
I just thought her teeth were larger.
Didn't
They
they
probably
Like
should be
mine.
perfectly straight. You know what I
Didn't
mean?
they say she had buck teeth?
But the braces, I mean,
Braces fix everything.
do they?
Pretty much.
I had them for 3 years, and then had to get fake teeth. Sort of.
I mean, my
hair
bite
is
was for reals messed up. Braces did miracles.
I mean,
I
also-
had like 2 layers of teeth.
Are you a shark?
I was like a shark.
Megan Shark doo 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 doo. Megan Shark doo 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 doo.
Oh my god.
You can't escape it. Anyways,
Now everybody else is singing it.
sorry, I'm not sorry. Okay. Because if you remember, don't let the movie get to you. Emma Watson has great teeth, but Hermione didn't before.
But also, like your kid who has great. Not everybody. I would say the majority of people
It's
with as a
pretty-
kids don't have great teeth.
Pretty common to not have nice teeth,
Yeah.
I would think.
It's also a
You
very
think?
apparently it's a very American thing to have really white teeth.
And very straight teeth. Like picture perfect teeth is an American thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Doesn't surprise me.
Teeth
Well,
are teeth, man.
It's something that somebody can make a lot of money off of.
Oh, this is true.
Hashtag capitalism.
Just make sure you brush, floss, and rinse with some mouthwash.
Yeah.
This is a little kind of off topic, but I just want to
Well-
say pour one out for my dentist because he sadly passed away
Pouring it
like
out.
2 weeks ago. It was very sudden. He was very young. In his 50s. Yeah.
Not
I'm very
cool.
upset. He was the nicest guy ever. So
I too have a nice dentist.
That's sad. I do as well.
I don't have one anymore.
My child is screaming. Literally, it sounded like she was like, "Daddy!"
I know. That's what I heard.
Gosh.
She was saying mama earlier.
Yeah, she
Fozzie
was.
was staring out the window, like looking for you. And I was like, she's not here yet, sweet pea.
Hermione admits that when she went up to Madame Pomfrey to get them shrunk down after Malfoy, jinxed her, she let Madame Pomfrey shrink them down past what they usually were. She admits that also this probably won't please her parents because they wanted her to continue on with her braces. And she's like, they don't think that magic and teeth should mix.
If you don't know, they're dentists.
I want to be.
I
a
will say though,
dentist.
I'm 1,000% agreeing with her. Like, if magic can fix my teeth, all the pain that I've gone through, I've had a lot of like.
Oh,
Fix them.
Do you know the
A lot
name?
of things.
Her parents' name are Crentist, the dentist.
Get out.
Nobody? The Office? Anyone?
I don't know.
Bueller?
I remember that. I
Dwight?
remember
remember
the
that
either.
either.
So, okay.
Enlighten me.
It's when he goes to Jan behind Michael's back.
Oh.
And he like shoves a bunch of peanut M&Ms in his
Yes.
mouth and he's like, open up. He's like, something about Crentist. I can't remember exactly.
You know who's
No, we just
else is-
watched that episode not too long ago.
Wasn't Willy Wonka's father a dentist?
Yes.
I don't know. Shout out.
I don't
to
count that Willy Wonka's.
Willy Wonka. Willy
No,
Wonka.
that's not the movie. Anyways,
I'm pretty sure that's based on the book.
we're a little all over the place.
For 1,000%.
Okay, who's editing this? Have fun.
The Peaches household.
Well, we'll give you something to do. Not that you don't already have enough. So, in the middle of her sentence, Hermione is stopped by seeing Pig. He's back and he's twittering around with some parchment tied to his leg. People are passing him and pointing and laughing. Even a group of third-year girls love this cute, quote,
Aw.
weenie owl.
I'm sure that
Weenie
makes
Hut Junior.
Ron feel great.
Weenie Hut General. Did we go over Pig?
I don't know if we did.
I couldn't remember. So
I think I talked about him a little bit.
I think you did, but I'll just briefly go over. He has a profile on Pottermore, also known as Pig. Pigwidgeon is Ron Weasley's tiny pet owl. He is named by Ginny Weasley. His skills are delivering mail, and his hobbies are twittering, hooting, and zooming around.
It's the cutest thing I've ever heard in my
Much
entire life.
like me. So I looked up what kind of owl he was, and I think you did this already. Rowling says that he is a Scops owl, or Scopes owl. I think it's Scops, though. They're tiny gray owls with little tufts of feathers on their heads. And this makes sense, as Pigwidgeon is said to fit in a person's fist. They live in open country with isolated trees and lightly wooded areas containing clusters of trees. They also can be found in rundown buildings, caves, bushlands, and a park-like habitat.
So basically everywhere.
Anywhere,
same
man,
thing, yeah.
anywhere.
I guess. I looked up what the name meant, and it means a small or petty person, creature, or object, especially a fairy, dwarf, imp, or elf. Also can mean a contemptible or stupid person or creature.
No, he's just silly and fun.
I know.
I like him.
I have some feels on this, and we'll get to it in a minute.
Especially because he came from Sirius.
Correct. So Harry pockets Sirius's letter, and they head to Gryffindor Tower. Everyone in the tower was too busy celebrating, being on break, and relaxing to care what the trio were up to. So the letter says, "Dear Harry, congratulations on getting past the Horntail. Whoever put your name in that goblet shouldn't be feeling too happy right now. I was going to suggest the conjunctivitis curse, as a dragon's eyes are its weakest point." "That's what Crumb did," Hermione whispered. "But your way was better. I'm impressed. Don't get complacent, though, Harry. You've only done one task, and whoever put your name in the tournament's got plenty more opportunity if they're trying to hurt you. Keep your eyes open, particularly when the person we discussed is around, and concentrate on keeping yourself out of trouble. Keep in touch. I still want to hear about anything unusual."
When did
Sirius.
Sirius get so sultry to his godson?
Honest to gosh.
Oh, my. I don't know.
How big eyes you have.
Harry
like your mother's.
Oh my gosh. Harry compares Sirius to Moody. "Constant vigilance. You'd think I walk around with my eyes shut, banging off the walls." But honestly, like, I think if I were Harry, I'd probably get really annoyed with that too. It's like, I'm not just blind to everything, you know? He has that...
He's got an
He's got a
intuition.
good sense.
correct. That's what I was looking for. Thank you. He knows.
Potter
her-
senses.
Yeah, Potter senses.
They're tingling.
Hermione says that Sirius is, of course, right, and Harry still has 2.
Ooh.
What are you, married? More tasks to complete before it's over, and Ron thinks otherwise. Harry has forever to work out the egg. Let's play some chess. Time passes.
I mean, you're going to lose because Ron's pretty bomb at that. So.
Time passes.
He kind of won the most important chess game ever.
Time is passing.
Yeah, for sure. What time is it, Tiffany?
It's Christmas time. This gives me the heebie-jeebies. Harry wakes up very suddenly on Christmas morning to a pair of large, round, green, not married anymore, eyes staring through him. Staring through him.
Jinx, you owe me a Coke.
His eyes are Moody's eyes.
Oh my god.
That's where you got it from.
Is Coke vegan?
Yes.
All right, you got it. Some eyes are staring at him through darkness. Like, why though? But like, why? Just give him a little shake. No need to be so creeptastic.
I mean, but it's Dobby.
Think about Chamber of Secrets. He did the same thing.
You know, you spoiled that because I didn't even say who it was first.
I mean, it's Dobby. It's Dobby. Yo, it's Dobby.
It's Dobby. And Dobby's all like, "Sorry, bro, sir." So it
She's trying to be like me and she can't.
no, it was
You
a
would-
bro and a sir
I would have just been
because he called him sir.
broski.
No, it's not a ski.
Broski skir.
You don't even know what you're trying to say right now.
Shout out to that commercial. They said bro way too much and he says Teddy Roosevelt. Got me every time.
Teddy
Oh my God,
Roosevelt.
Katie died every time that commercial was on.
Funny.
Teddy Roosevelt.
It turns out.
Is that what you call your cat now? Because I would.
I don't know if I have, but officially now I'm going to start doing that.
Come here, Teddy Roosevelt.
I literally call Fozzie Fozzington now.
Oh, that's
Sir
cute.
Fozzington
Sir
Bear.
Fozzington Bear.
I love that.
So it turns out that Dobby has brought Harry a Christmas present.
It's so cute.
But the other boys in the dorm are now awake because Harry was like, "What?"
I mean, but who wouldn't?
And they're peering through their hangings, and Seamus is like, "Someone attacking you, Harry?"
Because that's not outlandish.
That's how I like figured it. Yeah, no, but like they're so used to like Harry getting attacked, so
Probably also like half asleep.
well, yeah, it's not a big deal.
You still alive, bro?
And he's like, "Nah."
SpongeBob
I love it. It's so good. But he tells them like, "No, you can go back to bed." But everybody's like, "No way! There's presents! Hooray!"
Presents.
And Dobby asks if he can give Harry his gift, and Harry's like, "Yeah, I got one for you too. You know, like a liar." And I said, "Note." Harry takes the sneakoscope out of the sock, and he hands an old pair of socks that once belonged to Uncle Vernon, gross, to Dobby.
Doesn't he call them like his nastiest pair of socks or something?
They're like
that?
knobby or something. He says
Knobbly.
Yeah. Dobby's
for Dobby.
super delighted though. Socks are Dobby's favorite. Now he has 7. That was a doorbell. 7 pairs. The socks don't match, so Harry goes ahead and gives him some more so he can, mix and match. And Ron tosses him his new sweater that Mrs. Weasley made him and some violet socks. And I said, this hurts my heart a little bit.
I would agree. Also, Harry calls them his oldest and foulest socks.
Well, there you go. Ron, your mother made that for you. And
love.
I don't care if you have 1,000,000, you need to cherish it.
For true?
Like, that really hurts my heart.
The sweater and the socks. She made them both.
She made the socks too? I guess
think
I didn't
so.
really think about
believe
that
so.
one.
I would think, yeah.
I think he like just unwrapped them. He was like, "Here you go."
Gosh dang. Like, I know, like, Dobby needs some stuff, but
Well, we know that Ron is a little immature,
yeah.
so
It doesn't hurt me any less.
I bet you that after the 7th book, he probably
But-
is like, I should treasure the things that my family has given me.
Correct. But honestly, even though, like, gosh, that's, like, kid stuff that, like, sucks. At least his things are going to someone who's truly
Yeah.
going to appreciate and like,
He's not
value
just
them.
like, "I don't want this."
Yeah,
pitching
like,
it, you
I
know?
think it would
Yeah.
make, if Molly heard that, not saying that she wouldn't be hurt or anything, but I think it would make her feel a little bit better knowing
it
that
would
he
ease
just,
it.
like,
Yeah,
thrown out or something.
most definitely. And Dobby says, "Sir is very kind," he squeaked, his eyes brimming with tears again, bowing deeply to Ron. Dobby knew Sir must be a great wizard, for he is Harry Potter's greatest friend, but Dobby did not know that he was also as generous of spirit, as noble, as selfless. "They're only socks," said Ron, who had gone slightly pink around the ears, though he looked rather pleased all the same.
Reading this part again made me think of how J.K. Rowling uses socks a lot. To
A
the
lot.
point where, like,
Yeah.
isn't there like
It's been a while since we've talked about this.
There's like not an article, but I think there's like even a mention on Pottermore,
Pottermore,
like,
yeah.
a whole separate page about
Yeah.
socks. Because I was like,
We talked about
Socks.
socks in a very early
I think
episode.
because
Dumbledore.
Dumbledore talks about it.
Yeah.
Whew, that's taking me back.
Like that was Sarah's basement long time ago.
Yeah.
Dobby got Harry some socks too, which he actually made himself. The left one was bright red with broomsticks, and the right one was green with snitches. And I like that. And I kind of want those.
Meg has them. I'm serious. You can order them. What's that place called? Shout out
Out
to
of
them.
print. Out
They're
of
like,
print.
so cute, and they're really,
They're
good
really
quality.
Okay, well,
Tiffany, would you
Mother's
like a
Day
pair?
is on Sunday. How fast can you get these? Dobby pieces out to go back to the kitchen to make Christmas dinner, and these are Harry's presents as followed. Socks, of course. And you guys, the Dursleys.
why do they send anything?
Well, let's
they
just
have to?
it's probably in the letter. Like, why though? This is one of the most heartfelt gifts. Give to him a tissue from the Dursleys, used or not.
I'm gonna say that it's a tissue for Harry's issues.
I'm going to
Well,
say
you're
it's
gonna
an
need more than
unused
one.
tissue.
Unused.
Unused. Oh, you
No.
know what?
Is it like
If Dudley packed it up, it's probably used.
Now, do you think it's like a facial tissue like we use, or like a hanky kind of tissue? Like there's some people that use like handkerchiefs.
Can
you
you
know?
look at
I
say-
always
different meanings.
envisioned it literally just like a
It did
A
say a
facial
single
tissue.
tissue. So.
I
think
Are
it's
we
like
talking
tissues.
Kleenex here? We're not sponsored, but come on.
Yeah, so if you don't know, Kleenex is a brand. So technically, when I first got my job at the hospital, they're like, we aren't allowed to call them Kleenexes because
What?
it's a brand. I'm not kidding you. They told me you have to call it a facial tissue, but if someone was like, "Can I have a Kleenex?" I'm gonna give them a tissue.
You
know
mean
what I
a facial tissue?
I've never. I mean, I shouldn't. I talk weird, anyways. Like I call it a cellular device, stuff like that.
It's because you're
but
just strange.
correct. But yeah, I was told because they're like, we don't use Kleenex as a brand. It's a facial tissue. I'm like, okay, cool.
Now, is it like
Whatever.
the crap you get at the doctor's
Need a
office that's
tissue
like
for your issue.
tissue paper, or is it like Puffs lotion?
That's a good one.
Or is it
Especially
Cool
when
Touch?
You're when your nose
Kleenex,
is
Dude, the Vicks
Cool
when you're
Touch is
sick.
the bomb.
Epic.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
a mix of the Vicks and the Cool Touch. That's usually what we do. That's
My
our
grandma
cold
would
remedy.
always tell us to put Vicks on our feet when we had a cold.
You do
I've
that to
heard that
babies
stuff.
too. The baby Vicks. Anyways, back to Harry Potter stuff. I mean, that technically was.
It was.
Anyways, socks, a tissue from the Dursleys, Quidditch teams of Britain and Ireland from Hermione, dung bombs from Ron, a pen knife with attachment that could unlock any lock and untie any knot from Sirius, Birdie
Best
Butts.
gifts.
That's a pretty useful gift.
He gives the
He gives
coolest
cool
gifts.
He
gifts.
really does. Birdie Butts, every flavor beans, chocolate frogs, Drooble's best blowing gum, and fizzing whiz bees from Hagrid, a green sweater with a dragon on it from Mrs. Weasley, and some mince pies. And I had to look up mince pies.
Does she always give him different sweaters and everyone else the same?
Yeah.
The one year I think he got a snitch.
Let's
Yeah.
be honest. Harry's probably her favorite.
I mean, I agree with you.
So a mince pie, also known as mincemeat pie in New England, and fruit mince pie in Australia and New Zealand. Shout out! It's a sweet pie of British origin filled with a mixture of dried fruits and spices called mincemeat that is traditionally served during the Christmas season in much of the English-speaking world.
I've always wanted one
Have
of these.
you
I don't think
eaten?
I'd like it.
I've never had one.
Never
Okay.
had one, but I want one.
They're like
Swishmas,
not
make
really
it. You have to
thing.
make it for Swishmas.
Why are you pointing at me?
I don't know, because you people are the oven people.
Oh, you are you? My God.
You make things in the oven.
I am just not a fan of
I'll make some.
Thank you.
what'd you say it was? Dried fruits and stuff? I'm not a fan.
That's
of
like
Oh,
the
heck
treacle
yes.
tart that we made. It's kind of that's
no
raisiny,
treacle tart has no
but
raisins
it
in
tasted very.
You guys.
It's just it's like treacle syrup
like
mixed with
molasses-y.
breadcrumbs. Yeah, it's similar to molasses.
You guys,
and
this is
it's
really
lemon
cool.
juice.
Because you know how people will tie stuff from Potter to Christianity? Listen to this. So it says its ingredients are traceable to the 13th century when returning European crusaders brought them Middle Eastern recipes containing meats, fruits, and spices. These contained the Christian symbolism of representing the gifts delivered to Jesus by the biblical magi. Mince pies at Christmas time were traditionally shaped in an oblong shape to resemble a manger and were often topped with a depiction of the Christ child. That's pretty cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, you
With
also
the
have to
trio and stuff.
You got to
And-
be real talented to do that because I can't do that.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
The more you know. Because knowledge is power.
The more you know.
Rainbow. So, Harry and Ron meet up with Hermione in the common room, and they went down to breakfast together. They spent most of the morning in Gryffindor Tower, goodness, where everyone was enjoying their presents. And when they returned to the Great Hall for a magnificent lunch, which included at least 100 turkeys and Christmas puddings, and large piles of cribbage wizarding crackers.
I just we had real
crackers.
wizarding crackers.
I know.
It'd be so amazing.
I know.
They went out onto the grounds in the afternoon, and the snow was untouched except for the deep channels made by the Dormstrang and Beauxbaton students on their way up to the castle. Hermione chose to watch Harry and the Weasleys snowball fight rather than join in. And at 5 o'clock, she was going back upstairs to get ready for the ball.
What time did the ball start? I don't remember.
It starts at 8
Sounds about right.
Y'all,
because Hermione needed 3 hours to get ready.
I'm just trying to think of like how long it would take me to get ready.
you dick all
So
day.
3 to 4.
I would take an hour.
But like my thing is like I don't do, like I procrastinate while I'm doing. You know what I mean?
Hold on.
Sorry.
I have to put this in there because someone did. What comes before part B?
Party.
Time to party!
That was me who put it in there.
It's green now.
All right.
Say it.
So
I don't do it anymore.
Say it.
That I know of.
Say it out loud.
Ron cannot comprehend why on earth Hermione needs 3 hours to get ready. And I said, excuse me, Ron, she can take all day if she wants.
Preach.
She can take as long as she wants to. But because of the ball, there's no afternoon tea for Christmas, which they normally would have had. And instead, they just have the feast for the ball.
Do they always have afternoon tea at Hogwarts?
I was wondering that. Or is it just a holiday thing?
need
I
it
feel
to
like
be an
they
everyday
probably
thing.
have it every day. It's just not as extensive as breakfast, lunch, and dinner because, like, maybe not everybody comes because they might have classes. You know what I mean?
Can we start a petition that America has to have tea time every day?
Oh
Can we
my
bring that back?
gosh.
Can we bring it back?
I'm in.
I would love it. Love it. So at 7, the boys head upstairs to get ready and get past a very tipsy fat lady and her friend Violet. And she says, the password at this time is fairy lights. And she says, yes, Larry fights. That's it. I thought that was funny.
I love it.
So they all get into their dress robes, and poor Ron, quote from the book, there was just no getting around the fact that his robes looked more like a dress than anything else. He severed the ruff and cuffs, but since he wasn't really the best at spells, the edges were still pretty frayed. And I really like at this. So Ron really annoys me for most of this chapter, but I legitimately feel for him at this part because
Yeah.
I just can't. I don't. I get why Mrs. Weasley had to get him secondhand robes, but like there was nothing else really. Nothing a little more plain.
But I also think that she went, at a
late.
time where like it
Everybody
was
Stuff had
picked
probably
over.
been picked over.
Yeah.
I feel
Which I
really-
agree.
Or like, isn't there nothing like
It sucks.
Arthur doesn't have something he can borrow? I don't know.
She could have knit him one.
I feel
would
like
just give it
anything
away.
would have been better at this point. Like I just feel so bad.
Or at
for
least
him.
try to transfigure them a little bit.
Yeah,
like
like she could have helped him try and make it look better, so
Poor
it wasn't
guy.
frayed.
I just want to do a soapbox.
Go
Okay,
ahead.
So it's like prom season right now, right? It's kind of over now, but whatever. So this makes me think of my cousin because my cousin just went to prom and he looked like, I saw pictures of him. My aunt was like, that's her first son, crying, like couldn't handle it. He looked so dapper and good. And my aunt was saying that the whole time he was just like, I look stupid. Like, I look so dumb. And I just want to say, like, I feel like Ron already feels like that. Plus, he has, like, it really is kind of an ugly dress robe. It's out of date and everything. But listen, everybody looks cool and whatever. Wear whatever you want. It's no big deal. Everybody looks good and that kind of stuff.
True.
Don't feel self-conscious about it if you're going through something like that. Everyone thinks they look dumb.
Yeah, if you want to see
But
some
you
coolness,
don't.
check out our prom pictures.
Oh my gosh.
I don't look bad. I don't like my hair, but
We should
I
post
didn't do
our
anything
prom
with
pictures.
I just found it the other day.
I'm so
Me and Sarah skipping.
This is my
Yeah.
favorite. My favorite picture of Katie and I is from my prom night.
So Dean then says that he can't believe that Harry and Ron wound up with the prettiest girls in their year, even after waiting for the last minute. Parvati. So they're
Who
all
did
ready.
Dean go with?
I don't know if it says
Seamus.
anywhere.
That'd be
hey.
awesome.
With it.
That'd be
I
awesome.
ship that.
No, but isn't Lavender going with Seamus?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
Lame.
don't know who Dean goes with.
Dean, but like
He can just go by himself. He's cool.
he strikes me as someone that be
Who went
comfortable going
stag.
stag.
Yeah. Sometimes that's more fun just saying. And when I say sometimes, I mean like, yeah.
So they're all ready and they head down to the entrance hall to meet. Well, hold on.
What
They
is
haven't
Potter?
yet. I'm sorry. Okay. They go into the common room and Parvati is waiting there. She has on her shocking pink robes.
So is that like hot pink?
I think so.
Okay.
And her hair is in a long braid in America.
cute.
It says plait in the book. And also she has like gold in her hair and gold bracelets.
Cute accessories.
Yes.
I enjoy that.
Yes. I just like picture her in like actually I think that they did
Did
her
they do it in the
outfit really well
Or in the movie?
In the movie. I don't know if it's shocking pink. I can't envision what it is, but I just
Pink
feel
and blue.
okay, yeah.
Make it pink. Make it blue.
Yeah. But I just think they did a really good job of like incorporating her culture in her outfit as well. I just think it
Yes.
looks really beautiful. So then she tells Ron that Padma is going to meet him in the entrance hall. But he is literally just focused on where Hermione is. And I said, dude, you're in love.
He is so in love. It's like punching him in the face.
He's been bitten by the
He
snake
is.
bug.
He thinks of
He's been
nothing
bitten
but her.
by
I don't think it's just mere curiosity.
I don't think he's in love, but I think that he's in like with her.
love.
Like,
He's in
Okay,
love.
whatever.
He's in love with her. He was in like with her maybe 2
He's in
years
love
ago.
with Hermione.
I was gonna be like, he's in love with the girl. Mirror, mirror, mirror. 90s country
Oh,
song.
yep. I feel you.
All right. Okay.
So now they go down to the entrance hall, and that is where they meet Padma, and she has on robes of bright turquoise. She didn't exactly look excited
No.
about going with Ron. And then I said, poor Ron, sort of,
Say a
because
tweet,
he
man.
is pretty much a big fat jerk to Padma the whole night.
Neither one of them are nice to their dates, Harry and Ron.
No.
Harry's just mean in a different way.
Yeah, but they're also focused on other people. Live in
Yes.
the moment.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Honestly, like, never mind. Because I was gonna be like, Harry just should have went alone, but he couldn't.
He couldn't.
He wanted to.
True.
So now I just have like a list of like what everybody is wearing because there was just a lot of
Do it like an
information thrown.
person would.
Which weekly?
So we have Flora Delacour. She's in a silver gray satin dress, and she is with Roger Davies, the Ravenclaw Quidditch captain. Malfoy walks in a black velvet dress robe with a high collar.
Like a vampire.
And he is accompanied by Pansy Parkinson in pale pink robes.
I boo her.
Crab and Goyle, or Grab or Coil, because they're dates. They've got green robes on,
Wait.
and Harry says that they look like moss-colored boulders.
They don't have dates?
No.
Who would bring
And
Do people ship them?
I don't know.
You know, I don't know.
I was just
Are they
making
together?
up, I was just
Well, they
making up
aren't anymore.
couple names for them. Grab and Coil.
Oh my.
Yeah, they're dead.
One of them is dead.
Aren't they
yeah.
both?
No.
No, Crab
I
died.
think Crab, yeah. Is the one that
Oh,
dies.
in the movie.
Guys,
Coil
what
dies.
if they're together?
Oh, yeah, he died.
I never thought about this. Do people ship them? Are there fanfics?
Wait,
I'm sure.
Wait, which one dies in the book?
Crab?
Goyle dies in the movie?
But I also think
Well, because Crab wasn't really in the movie.
Oh, that's
this
Yeah, he got
because-
into
so
some TRO
they
deal.
made
He-
somebody recognizable die.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because then they
Instead of
had Blaze be
Blaze
around.
Zambini.
Yeah.
Next
He was
up, we
cute.
have
I ship them now.
Next
I
up,
would do it.
next up we have Crumb. He was at the front of the Durmstrang students, and he was accompanied by a pretty girl in blue robes that Harry didn't know.
Really?
The front lawn area of the castle has been turned into a grotto with Larry fights, and real live fairies are sitting in the rose bushes.
That's
I just
cute.
like looks. That picture is just like really pretty.
It's like warm feeling to me, but it's winter. Clearly.
cozy.
When McGee gathers the champions, this is when Harry notices Hermione
Hey.
with Crumb.
Double hey.
And her hair is sleek and shiny, twisted up into an elegant knot at the back of her head. And she's wearing robes made of a floaty periwinkle blue material, and she's smiling. And Harry at this point notices again how straight her teeth look with her smile. And people were throwing her looks of deepest loathing.
Jealousy, jealousy, jealousy. Not only that she's with Crumb, but
That
because
she
they're
looks
like,
pretty.
oh, she's hot.
Well, two things I have to say. First,
She's
of all,
always been hot, people.
first thing I want to say is it also mentions how like Malfoy specifically was like looked at her and was shocked and like
Yes.
had nothing.
I
to
ship
say.
that.
And I think that's like where people get the whole like, oh, he was totally in love with her thing.
Honestly, though, but like, I think he had a thing for her.
I mean, I wouldn't
I'm
be
down with
surprised.
it.
I think he did. I mean, she doesn't.
I think that's his way of like being like, oh, I can't like a muggle born, so I'm just gonna,
Be mean to her.
yeah,
He pays a lot of attention to her.
he does.
My other thing I have to say is this is something I don't particularly care for. It's in a lot of movies. It's in this one, obviously. So we know that
to me.
she doesn't outright say that Hermione's hair is curly, but we hear it's bushy, it's bushy, it's bushy. And you see in all of these movies where the girl is like, has that
Oh my
crazy
God.
hair
Here
and the
we
glasses.
go.
I'm just saying it irritates me because growing up as someone that has curly hair, like your society makes you think that your hair isn't cute.
It's
You know what I
bad.
mean?
Yeah.
Like, oh,
You need straight hair.
you
Here's
hear-
a straightener.
Correct.
Now she's
And, like, you
pretty
need-
because she has sleek and
correct.
shiny
and you
hair.
see movies where they're like, oh, they removed the glasses, they straightened
Hold
her
on,
hair,
wait.
now she's gorgeous.
Wait, Kiss me beneath the milky twilight.
True.
Everybody
But, like-
has that coming down the stairs moment. She totally had this.
And it irritates me because when here's the thing, my hair is very curly. And I know that
Extremely.
there's no matter who I have children with, my girl's hair is going to be very curly, and I want them to grow up.
Why not the boys?
And well, yeah, I mean,
That's
this
why I
is true. My
love
children are going to have
child
curly hair,
hair.
and so
Yeah.
I wish that movies would stop portraying, and people like in general, like you see, oh well, let's give her a makeover, and they always straighten their hair, or they like blow dry it and they'll curl it, like. And it's still beautiful. And if you really, like, there are times where I do that to my own hair and I think it's beautiful. But there's other times where, like, growing up and now that I'm 29, like, I want to embrace my curls and love them because my kids are going to have curly hair and I want them to think that it's beautiful because it is. And it's just something that irritates me that, well, let's flat iron the crap out of it because curly hair is not as cute. And I've actually had people tell me, like, I like your hair when you actually do something to it. Okay, well, you come over to my house and you do it. Like, it's just aggravating. So sorry to get on my little soapbox.
No, Sarah,
Curls are
preach.
beautiful. And I don't like that movies do this because it makes people think that curly hair isn't as good. And
Curly hair's
to
great.
me, I like it better. Especially
I like what Vinny pointed out, that this is also peak Friends straight hair. 1994 pressure to have straight hair was huge.
I mean, I still even think
It is
now,
a
like,
trend.
growing up
trendy
too, like
at that time.
in magazines, like if you were talking about hair and they'd have girls like, oh, and the curly hair, like their hair was wavy at best. Like that's
Yeah.
not curly hair.
Yeah.
And there's
Yeah.
people with curlier hair than mine. So like it's just irritating.
I would
29
love-
years of irritation. Love your curls. They're beautiful.
Jeez.
The more wild mine are, the better I feel about it.
Honestly,
Sarah.
when your hair is wild, I'm like,
Like even I realized because I very rarely like flat iron my hair. If I do it, like I'll curl it because
Yeah.
I don't like it flat. And then I'm like, probably because when my hair is in its natural state, it's not obviously flat.
I also think that
love
like
curls.
her doing something different gets her noticed. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
She can't just be herself.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't
Yeah.
want people to think that like if you want, because there's times where I want to blow dry my hair and curl it and think I'm beautiful, and there's other times where like my hair is crazy and big, and I'm like, God, it just looks so good. You also like want to. It's irritating to me when they're like, all of a sudden they think she's beautiful because her hair is straight. You know what I mean?
I think that what Joe might be, I mean, I'm not diminishing what you said at all, but I think what she might be getting at is that Hermione is a character who is so involved in her education that maybe she doesn't take the time to do like self-care Sundays. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I don't want people to think that like your looks are everything. She is smart.
Well,
Just
they
because
don't.
She doesn't care about her. I shouldn't even say that.
But now she's taking the time out to do something different and to focus on it, which gets noticed by people. Is
Yeah,
what I
I get
think
what you're
she's just
saying.
getting across.
I just
Part of it. But yes, love your curls, love your straight, love your wavy, love whatever you've got going
you're still
on.
beautiful if you have glasses on. I don't know. Whenever I see that in movies, it just irritates
It's
me.
that
That old
is,
trope.
but this is true of the time of the book.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like there was a time where like everybody had to have. There was a time in the 70s where everybody had to have that straight hair. You know, all I think of Cher
And then the 80s were
was big
Curly.
hair. Yeah. So, what are people? Somebody just said you would have killed it in the 80s with your hair.
It's something that irritates me to this day. And I just my thing is because a lot of times in society, even nowadays in 2019, where like people have issues with curly hair and it's not as beautiful and it's not as this and it's not as like tamed down. Well, just like Miley Cyrus, I can't be tamed.
Oh my God.
You're
We have to
welcome.
move on. We get you. We hear you.
I hear you, Sarah.
You're heard.
Also, fun fact that the reason why it wasn't blue in the movies was because the pink looked better with her Emma Watson's skin tone.
And I think it like looked too much like the Bobaton
Yeah, like it didn't stand out as much.
uniforms. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, don't tell anybody anything about them isn't beautiful.
Agreed.
You're
Yep.
beautiful.
They probably had no idea I was going to be like, love your curls.
I love it.
The walls of the hall had all been covered in sparkling silver frost, with hundreds of garlands of mistletoe and ivy crossing the starry black ceiling.
Megan seamlessly rolling back into the chapter after all of that.
So Ron and Cockroff, never thought you'd hear those two together, had matching looks as they watched Hermione and Crumb walk through the entrance hall and up to the table. Ludo Bagman has arrived in bright purple robes with large yellow stars, and Madame Maxime wore a flowing gown of lavender silk.
Those are St. Joe's colors that Bagman has on.
Does he
and
also
yellow?
have our logo on the back?
A jaguar.
No. Swish click.
Oh.
Mr. Crouch, however, was not there.
Interesting.
Percy was there in his spot. Why? So Percy tells Harry that he's been promoted to be Mr. Crouch's personal assistant, and he's there representing him. This is where we begin to really notice his absence and something is going on. So right now, in this moment, Voldemort is involved and is at the Crouch's house, right?
For Voldemort and Valor.
Well, everything's for Voldemort and Valor.
Percy then tells Harry as well that Mr. Crouch isn't well and he hasn't been right since the World Cup.
That's because you wanted the babies.
Well, was he under it right away? Or
I
was he like,
think-
oh, shoot, my kid's not with me no mo?
I think
And
that
then-
night he was
Yeah.
put under it.
No mo.
No mo.
No more.
Does he have FOMO? No.
Well, I mean, he's missing out.
So ordering dinner was pretty awesome at the ball too. All you had to do was look at the menu and then say what you wanted.
That's-
and it appeared.
That's amazing.
I
They're
need
meant
that
to-
in my life.
They're
Steak,
into the
steak,
Jetsons.
And then Harry wonders as he
yeah.
watches Dumbledore do it. I think he then looks at Hermione and is wondering like, I wonder how she feels about this. This is probably a lot more work for the house elves. And then he notes, and it doesn't really look like she cares because she is full on in conversation with Victor.
But she's not eating much. Isn't that what
She's
noted in
not
the book?
focused on her eating. Yeah,
That's happened
she's
to me.
talking. So Harry
could never happen to me.
overhears Victor telling Hermione about Dormstrang. They also have a castle, though it's not as big and comfortable as Hogwarts. There's 4 floors, and fires are lit only for magical purposes.
That sounds rough.
Yeah, that sounds like
Especially because they're like really north, right?
Sounds like some dark magic's going on there.
They also have really large grounds, but Victor points out that in the wintertime, they have hardly any daylight, so they can't really enjoy them. But in the summer, they can fly every day over the lakes and mountains. And Cockroff cuts him off here and tells him not to give away where it is. And I'm like, honestly, who cares?
not me.
But I found these 2 articles that talk a little bit about
Dude, what
where
is
it's
with
located.
Stack
Maybe.
Exchange?
It's just like a Reddit kind of
They
where
like-
people just like talk.
yeah.
But it
we
sounded
always have
legit,
them
so.
usually, I think.
So there are a lot of mentions of aspects of the school, especially how cold it is, but the books and movies never actually say what country it's in. So for example, we know Crumb is from Bulgaria and he plays for the Bulgarian national Quidditch team, but that does not necessarily mean that the school is in Bulgaria. Crumb mentions to Hermione just now that it's over the mountains, but he doesn't specify which mountains.
And through the woods.
And in the movie, Dumbledore introduces Karkaroff and the Dormstrang students as his, quote, friends from the north. Bulgaria is actually to the south of Scotland, so that doesn't fit. Ron says in the book that he wished Malfoy went to Durmstrang because it would be easy to push him off of a glacier. And fur coats are a standard dress item of the students. So where do we think it is? And a couple people said that Joe suggested that Durmstrang is in northern Scandinavia, which would either be very north Sweden or Norway.
Norway.
And that Beauxbaton is somewhere near, is it Canes in the south of France? She says she doesn't know for certain because, of course, the exact whereabouts of these schools is closely guarded secret to which she is not privy, obviously.
Who's privy?
J.K. Rowling. None of us.
Because she doesn't know.
But they did, what was it, like a couple of years ago at the celebration of Harry Potter, that's whenever they put out the map of where all of the various wizarding schools are located.
I'm the map.
I can't
School you want to go to? I can get you there. I know you.
And assuming that there's only one magic school in Northern Europe, Durmstrang would appear to be somewhere in Northern Russia, relatively close to the border with Finland.
I'm in.
So that's what we got. Then there also is a lot of information on Durmstrang, actually, on Pottermore, because Jo released a ton whenever she released all that information on all the schools leading up to Fantastic Beasts coming out. And just like a little blip, it says Durmstrang once had the darkest reputation of all 11 wizarding schools.
Yeah, because they don't light fires.
Though this was never entirely.
That's not what I was thinking.
This is important.
Darkest reputation.
Ooh, you and me, we got
Darkest reputation.
Though this was never entirely merited.
You don't know about me. Ooh, where am I gonna be?
It is true that Durmstrang, which has turned out many truly great witches and wizards, has twice in its history fallen under the stewardship of wizards of dubious alliance or nefarious intent, and that it has one infamous ex-pupil, which is
Who could that be?
Grindelwald.
Ooh, you naughty.
Meg, you were
did,
not
no.
having our Swift references at all.
She's like rolling through these notes. She's like, I don't have time for these people.
J.K. Rowling.
She hated.
Doesn't want any of our jokes. Doesn't want any of our jokes. And kudos to her for not messing up. I've been trying to put my legs up on her, and my legs keep slipping off her jeans, and she's not even. She's just reading.
Oh, God.
So Dumbledore interjects Cockcroft at this point and says, Igor, all this secrecy, one would almost think you didn't want visitors. And Cockcroft responds, well, Dumbledore. No, that's not a magazine.
Oh,
I mean, I wouldn't want visitors either. Bye. leave me alone.
Albus, we are all protective of our private domains, are we not? Do we not jealously guard the halls of learning that have been entrusted to us? Are we not right to be proud that we alone know our school's secrets and right to protect them? And then Dumble says, oh, I would never dream of assuming I know all of Hogwarts' secrets, Igor. Only this morning, for instance, I took a wrong turning on the way to the bathroom and found myself in a beautifully proportioned room I've never seen before, containing a really rather magnificent collection of chamber pots. When I went back to investigate more closely, I discovered that the room had vanished. Foreshadowing the room of requirement.
But, like,
Thank you,
Here,
Joe.
what I gotta say though.
Gosh,
So
man.
it's a room
That's
full of
late in
chamber
the
pots.
game.
So obviously you had a need for a chamber pot. Wouldn't you think you'd have a bathroom in your own private quarters? I'm just saying.
Yeah,
It's
I
kind
think of that
weird.
too.
I wonder if maybe he was just like wandering.
He
and
could
was
also
like, oh, I
be
need the bathroom.
lying.
Yeah, I wonder because he knows what the room of requirement is.
But he
Agreed.
said it was at like 5:30 in the morning.
So
He's just chilling, Kate.
he's looking for Judy. All right. He knows what's up.
All right. I'm
I
not question
find this. He's lying.
Suspect.
I mean, he's telling him about probably maybe what happened to him when he was younger.
I just like that she is letting on to this room right
Correct.
before Order
Yeah.
of the Phoenix when it's going to become super important.
You know what's also funny? And I don't remember if it's in the books, but I know it's in the movie because Ron's like, so theoretically, if you have to use the toilet. And then Hermione's like, yeah.
Yes.
I know. I like how it was like a call out without being a call
Yeah.
out to this.
And I like how Hermione is like, why do I like you? But yes, you're not
Yeah.
wrong.
That's their whole.
Okay, I'm sorry. Bathroom jokes will always be great.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Agreed. Floor then jumps in about Beauxbaton, specifically the Christmas decor.
Oh, geez.
She says that they have ice sculptures that don't melt. And
That's
then she
cool.
goes on even more and says that they look like sparkling gems and all this other stuff.
I'm into that though.
I mean,
Unless
it's
one of them
pretty and
dropped and, like,
stuff,
Yeah, but here's my question. Would you rather be at Hogwarts for Christmas or Beauxbaton's at Christmas?
I feel like Beauxbaton's is cold, so no.
Well, actually,
so is Hogwarts.
Hogwarts is more north, so it's further away from
No.
the equator.
Cold
So
as
it's probably
in
colder.
No, as
Like, you
in
mean
they don't
like
have as many
Aurora?
fires.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Like Durmstrang, they're like we ain't lighting these.
But I
feel
don't
like
know. Fleur is like so not prepared for cold weather.
Hogwarts to me,
Because
when
like
I
Canes-
think about it,
Canes
cozy,
is like down
warm.
south. Like you want to like isn't it potentially level with like Italy almost? Like warmer weather.
What did you call it?
Canes.
Isn't it cans?
I don't know, maybe cans. Okay.
I like
you just
cans.
can't.
Isn't it like
Sounds-
in line with Italy
Like
though?
where the Cannes Film Festival is?
I
Is that
say
what- yeah,
cane.
yeah.
You say can.
It's
Canes.
it's for
Whatever.
sure significantly closer to the equator than Scotland is.
Is that the film festival place?
Yes.
Welcome
We just
to
said
the
that.
with the
Festival.
conversation.
I was reading the Discord.
They also have choirs of wood nymphs.
What's a wood nymph?
I'll get to it. Amazing food. And Roger Davies is just entranced by her and is just nodding at everything that she says.
Is she turning up the heat?
Also, yes, Cannes is similar.
Can or cane?
It's Cannes. I said it wrong. I'm
the
sorry.
Cannes Film Festival, so it's Cannes.
Like canned food?
and it's
Yes.
Like the
more
can.
southern than Milan. So if that makes
Okay,
any,
so
roughly like Milan's
pretty
the
warm.
top-ish of Italy.
okay.
So there's also writing on Beaubaton
Oh, we say it
on Beaubaton. I hate that. No, it's Beaubaton.
That sounds wrong.
J.K. Rowling, you're wrong on Pottermore.
Oh,
Your pronunciation is not canon.
So here's the thing.
neither's Cursed Child. Shots fired. Just kidding.
Shots fired. Once fired.
Pew pew pew. Wrong fandom.
What's BB-8 radio?
I don't know. Never heard of it.
Me neither.
So Beaubaton Academy has a preponderance of French students, though Spanish, Portuguese, Dutch, Luxembourgians, Borgians, and Belgians also attend in large numbers.
Get it.
Both Beaubaton and Durmstrang have a larger studentship than Hogwarts, and it is said that the stunning castle and grounds of this prestigious school were part funded by alchemist Nicholas Flamel.
Hello.
Shout out to that bro we get to see in Fantastic Beasts 2. Crimes of the Grindelwald.
I don't like how he looks.
Oh, I'm into
Oh,
it.
I think he's funny. I like how he shuffles.
Well, it like makes you think like, yeah, he is not going to die as long as he drinks this elixir, but that doesn't mean he's not going to age.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
I'm into it. I'm into it.
I like it.
I
I'm
really
a lot.
not into
I think it
it.
makes sense. So wood nymphs are small nature-loving creatures who may be related to fairies or pixies.
Do you think we'll get to see
Hey,
Nicholas Flamel's
listen.
wife in the next one?
I hope
Parano.
You would know her name.
I just read it.
What's her name?
That's
not
not my
her
name.
name.
Yeah. I'm hoping.
So the next scene after Floor,
God, but if he's
is-
like that old in that year, good lord.
What does
He's-
Jacob say?
He's like 650 or something when he dies.
You don't
or
look a day
6-something.
over 300.
I know, but like
look a day over 300.
that was so long ago, and now I'm thinking of him like when he's still alive when
Like
Harry's
Sorcerer's Stone?
It's only like
Yeah.
50 years, 60 years.
Dude, think
That's
of
a
it. He
lot.
was
That's
only
a lot of years though for your bod.
he was only like 400 years after the start of Hogwarts. Kind of nuts.
Math's hard,
1,000
man.
years ago.
I'm
Yeah,
trying to think when
true.
Harry was born. So he was 60. He's 60 years from when we saw him, roughly, a little less. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Or like 60 years, roughly, a little more from when Harry heard about him.
I'm just
Hurls
saying,
along.
like, if a handshake's hurting you, then woo.
Yeah,
I think
true.
his skin like is transparent almost.
Oh my gosh, ew.
Just saying.
That's gross.
It's like those
If you
fish
touch
that you
him
can
too hard,
see
it
through.
probably crumbles.
That's what I'm saying. It's going to
Like,
be like a coral situation.
Yep.
Are you making him
Voldy bits. We don't know.
Ugh, Voldy bits. I hate it.
Voldy confetti?
So the next part is Hermione trying to teach Crumb how to say her name.
Because she did this for me. Because what did I call her? Hermione?
Yeah, a lot of people
my
pronounced her name wrong. So Joe put this scene into the books to teach
Smart.
us all how to say Hermione. Hermione said slowly and clearly.
I love how he says.
Hermione. And then she
Hermione.
just says, close enough. And I just wanted to point out here, can we notice Harry's lack of conversation here with Parvati? That entire time he's paying attention to all the other conversations going on around him, has not said a word to Parvati.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he was not very nice in a different way.
Correct. But also, I like that Hermione is a little smitten kitten.
She is. But you know what? Rightfully so. You
Yeah.
do you, boo.
Absolutely.
yeah, for sure.
You go on that date. You kiss that boy if you want.
Crummy de crumb crumb.
I'll have to ask her how a date is.
Did they snog this evening?
I think they probably did.
on the dance floor?
I wonder if, well, I'm not
She
gonna
get a taste of that Bulgarian bonbon.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
What? The snogging?
They snogging. They see me snogging. It's Crumb.
Gotta catch
Getting on with her Monini.
I mean, and I like too, like in Deathly Hallows, how he's like, "Oh, are they together?" Like,
Yeah.
I like that scene. And then they aren't. But
I mean-
Harry's like, "Yeah, basically."
Do you think he was like still like schmitten
Crushing?
with
For
her?
sure, because one, she's still a beautiful lady. Two,
Correct.
she's smart. And three, he knows that she's a good catch.
She's like perfect.
Well, that's a lie because nobody's perfect except for me, which is also a lie.
But
Nobody's perfect. Isn't that a
she's
song?
like, she's my kind of perfect.
But yeah, he knows that she's a catch, even all those years later.
She
What
is.
the point of being an international Quidditch star if all the good ladies are taken? I don't know. That beginning is quote. I don't remember if that's the end of the quote.
It's very close.
Yeah.
Close enough, as Hermione
He
would
also
say.
wanted to date
Close
Ginny,
enough.
and Harry was like, "No." She's got a big boyfriend. He jealous. He
Yeah, I
might beat you
remember
up.
She got a big boyfriend.
Where your boyfriend at? Is he big? Is he tall? Where your boyfriend at? Oh, you don't have a boyfriend. Can I have your number? Can I have it?
Have your number.
Oh my goodness gracious. This is what happens when we record A, late, B, on coffee, C, Friday night.
But I also like, because he's like, where's your boyfriend at? Is he getting you snacks? Is he big? Is he tall? Where's your boyfriend at?
That describes Marty to a T. Big, tall, getting me snacks.
The back of your head is ridiculous. Look, croissant.
What?
This is ridiculous.
Oh my gosh.
You know what time it is?
It's Swish time.
It's time for bid.
Time. No, it's time for our ads.
Oh,
AKA, attention,
Swisher
dear
time.
Swishers.
Makes me feel fine.
That was nice.
You're welcome.
Here we go.
Adventure is out there. Yeah. Why would you settle for ordinary chain store coffee when you can have an adventure in every cup with Expedition Roasters? Artisanal roasters of pop culture coffees, so now you can experience a little theme park magic every day at your home or your office or in your car, wherever you want. Each theme bag features custom artwork by a guest artist, and that makes it perfect for displaying it wherever you want to put it. So try one of their premium wizarding roasts like Book Smart Blueberry, Charming Chocolate Cherry, Cunning Caramel Crunch, or Big Hearted Butterscotch. All of their coffees are certified gluten and allergen free, so start that coffee adventure today at expeditionroasters.com. And don't forget to use the coupon code SWISHFLICK15. You can save 15% off your first purchase. Go brew that happy place.
I brew my happy place on the regular.
They also have teas, and I made the one that I think it's second star to the right. Made that as an iced tea. Very delish.
They posted something on Twitter today. Something about making like popsicles.
Oh, I saw
Ooh.
that. Yeah, with coffee.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah,
So-
I saw that.
Expedition Roasters. We love you. So here we go. Coffee ice pops. Here's a cool treat for those warm, sunny days. Cool down and caffeinate with these easy to make coffee ice pops. Read how at expeditionroasters.com/blogs/news/coffee. Coffee something. Go there, but you can also go to their Twitter at Expedition Roast. And they look really good.
Expeditionroasters.net.
Oh,
It's .com.
you know what? They got
Expeditionroasters.com. Well, it's actually .net. It's .com.
I had
Do you know what that
Cunning.
is?
Yeah.
Yeah, you've done it like 30 million times.
HomeshopRunner.net. It's .com.
Shut.
HomeshopRunner.net.
It's
.com.
I had Cunning Caramel Crunch this morning.
They used Route 66 to make these.
Sometimes it's hard for me to
like
say
this.
Book Smart Blueberry.
I like the way you say it because you say blueberry.
So I'd be like, Book Smart Blueberry, Chummy Chocolate Cherry, Cunning Caramel Crunch, a Big Hearted Butterscotch.
Here comes Fozbear. Hey, Pooch.
Here's the poochiest of pooches.
I am Gwilly.
Hey, Meg,
Hi, Pupush.
what's that other little sponsor we got there?
Today's show is brought to you by Audible. Audible is offering our listeners a free audiobook with a 30-day trial membership. Just go to audibletrial.com/swishflickcast. Audible content includes an unmatched selection of audiobooks, original audio shows, news, comedy, and more from the leading audiobook publishers, broadcasters, and entertainers. You can get all 7 of the Harry Potter books, Fantastic Beasts, Quidditch Through the Ages, and more. So just go over to audibletrial.com/swishflickcast.
Fun fact, I guess that some of them,
Listen to your happy place, y'all.
some of the Harry Potter books, like not the original 7, but like I think Quidditch Throughout the Ages and maybe Fantastic Beasts have sound effects, is what I heard.
Ooh.
Like I know
Yeah,
the,
and
the Star
Fantastic
Wars
Beasts
ones
is
do.
narrated by Eddie Redmayne.
I almost said Newt Scamander.
Newt
And then
Scamander.
Quidditch Through the Ages is narrated by Andrew Lincoln from The Walking Dead.
Rick
He's
Grimes.
also in Love Actually. You're
He
welcome.
is.
Coral.
And then doesn't Natalie Dormer read one of them?
Yeah,
And
The
then-
History of Magic.
Yeah. Fun fact. And then
cool.
the guy that played Dan Fogel. Is that his name?
Fogler.
What else? I was going to call him Jacob Kowalski, which is not his real name. That's not his name.
That's not his name.
I'm diving into the yellow.
Okay.
No,
You're prancing.
we're prancing.
Oh, we're prancing and dancing.
They see me prancing,
They hating.
trying to catch me not reading my colors.
So it's time for the champions to get up and dance.
Yeah, it is.
And poor Harry trips over his dress robes when Parvati's like, come on, it's time to go. And like, I get it because I'd be super nervous too. And that's just something I would do. And he's careful to avoid anyone's eyes when he's out on the dance floor because here's Seamus and Dean who are waving at him and sniggering as any good friends would do.
I really like them.
Yeah, they're funny.
They make me laugh.
Lucky for Harry, Parvati basically takes over. So she grabs his hands, puts one around her waist, holds the other one, and steers him around the dance floor.
Good for you.
Right? And he even admits, like, it's not as bad as it could have been.
Because you're not leading.
Right. He just has to, like, turn slowly with someone on the dance floor. And they're not out there very long by themselves. Soon a bunch of other people come out onto the dance floor. So there's Neville, who keeps trotting on poor Ginny's feet. Dumbledore is waltzing with Madame Maxime. Hagrid, you jealous?
Probably.
And Judy was doing a 2-step with Professor Sinistra, who was trying to avoid his wooden leg.
I
like-
see Sinatra every time I read that.
I
I know,
agree.
me too.
I like in the movie how he's like,
Yeah,
kind
by
of looks like
himself.
he's drunk and he's like, swaying.
He's drunk on polyjuice.
Hey.
All right, and this is not okay. Creepy Judy. He goes, "Nice socks, Potter," Moody
So
growled as he
weird.
passed, his magical eye staring through Harry's robes.
Oh, man.
That's not funny.
It's not okay. And immediately after that, Parvati goes, "He is so creepy. I don't think that eye should be allowed."
But, like, let's take a moment.
But really,
Like, come on.
Yeah, that's not cool.
through his robes.
But, like,
Don't look at me.
Don't look at me.
Like, I wonder, can you stop? Can you stop
Yeah.
certain
Like, can
things?
you,
Like, is
like,
it magical? You could, like, turn
make it
off
go to
that
sleep?
part?
Like a computer.
Can we see regular, please?
sleep mode?
Sleep mode.
I don't know. Anyway.
Everybody's like, I don't know.
Ugh. Creepy. So the Weird Sisters struck up another song, and it's faster, and everyone like wants to start actually dancing. And Harry's like, "Nah, I don't like this song. Let's sit down." And he drags her away to join Ron and Padma, and they pass Fred and Angelina along the way, who were, quote, dancing so exuberantly that people were around them were backing away in fear of injuries. Like I
Wow.
just picture them
Perfect.
like air guitaring and just like going nuts.
Yes.
So Ron is staring daggers at Crumb and Hermione, who are nearby, completely ignoring Padma. A boy from Beauxbatons comes over and asks Parvati, like, "Hey, do you want to dance?" And she's nice enough to ask Harry, "Do you mind?" You know, because they're on a date there together. And
Are
he's
they?
like, "What?" Because he's not even paying attention because he's watching Cedric and Cho. And
Oh
she's
my
like,
gosh.
"Never mind,
These
bye."
gentlemen.
I know. They're being terrible.
Yeah.
So Hermione comes over to say hi while Crumb is getting them drinks, and Ron is being terrible. Terrible. So I'm going to read from the book. So Hermione says, "It's hot, isn't it?" Fanning herself with her hand. "Victor's just gone to get us some drinks." Ron gave her a withering look. "Victor," he said, "hasn't he asked you to call him Vicky yet?"
Icky Vicky.
Make you sicky.
Hermione looked at him in surprise. "What's up with you?" she said. "If you don't know," said Ron scathingly, "I'm not going to tell you."
Oh my god.
Hermione stared at him, then at
He is
Harry,
such a
who
turd.
shrugged. Harry's just like, "I don't know what's going on." Ron,
Harry's
what?
just like, where's Cho?
I know, right? Cho.
Hermione, just move a little to the left.
Right. Should I keep staring at her creepily?
I'm gonna borrow Moody's eye for that.
Oh.
Ron, what? He's from Dormstrang, spat Ron. He's competing against Harry, against Hogwarts. Ron was obviously casting around for words strong enough to describe Hermione's crime. Fraternizing with the enemy, that's what you're doing. Hermione's mouth fell open. Don't be so stupid, she said after a moment. The enemy, honestly. Who was the one who was all excited when they saw him arrive? Who was the one who wanted his autograph? Who's got a model of him up in their dormitory? So Ron ignores that, obviously.
This is like epic, though.
It's so good.
I know. And then Ron's like, all right, well, when did he ask you? When you were in the library? And Hermione's like, yeah, so what? And Ron's like, what? Were you trying to get him to join SPEW? And I think this is really cute. She's like, no, if you really want to know, he said he'd been coming up to the library every day to try and talk to me, but he hadn't been able to pluck up the courage. So here's like an international Quidditch star celebrity who's scared to talk to Hermione. I think that's really cute.
Katie, read what you wrote.
I said, aw, crummy crumb crumb.
I just want to say in the movies, I like when he was, he said whatever to Hermione, and she's like, she gets all of it, and she's like, what? Is that what you think? Or something. I just love that, how she reacts to him. I'm like, oh, Hermione, you're perfect. She just, but you aren't perfect, but you're pretty close.
So Ron continues to be terrible. He goes on to say that Crumb is just going out with Hermione because he's Karkaroff's student, and that's how he's going to get closer to Harry, get inside information, or even close enough to jinx him. And Hermione's like, he hasn't asked one single thing about Harry. So then Ron quickly changes track and says, well, then he's hoping that you'll help him figure out the egg. And he also says, I suppose you've been putting your heads together during those cozy little library sessions. Like, dude, clearly you're jealous.
Now he's trying to hurt her. He's just doing whatever to get to her.
She did. Like, I don't think Harry would even care that much. Because, like,
No.
How much did she help him?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And Hermione's like, I would never, like, I want Harry to win. Harry, don't you know that? And, Harry's probably still just staring at Cho.
Correct.
And I really hate this because Ron's just like coming up with every excuse as to like why Hermione cannot be desirable to somebody.
He's just being mean.
Yeah, he's just straight up
He's
being
just like
mean.
being cruel.
Right. And I think he knows it.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. So Hermione's like, the whole point of this tournament is to get to know foreign wizards, to make friends with them. And Ron's like, nope, it's about winning. Jesus. And Harry finally tries to step in. He's like, Ron, I really don't mind if she comes with Crumb. It's fine. But he ignores him and tells Hermione to go find Vicky. And she has enough and storms off. Padma has also had enough. And she's like, are you ever going to ask me to dance? To Ron. And he's just like, no. So she goes and joins Parvati and the Bobaton boy.
At least he's honest in that sense.
I guess. So to Harry's displeasure, Percy takes her empty seat. Like this night could get any better, right? And we get a snippet again of Fred and George trying to talk to Bagman, although we still don't know why. And he blows them off again. And then comes and like straight up lies because Percy's like, oh, were my brothers bothering you? And he's like, no. They were telling me about the fake wands and how I could help them with marketing. And I promised to get them in touch with my contacts at Zonko's.
He's a loser.
Yeah, he is a
He
loser.
really is.
And Harry's like, oh boy, Percy's going to run to Mrs. Weasley with that one because they're not supposed to be doing anything with Weasley Wizard Wheezes, but we know how that went. And Percy's being Percy, a.k.a. boring, and he's talking Bagman's ear off about glorious Mr. Barty Crouch Sr., and he's like, oh, I'm sure Mr. Crouch will be up and about in no time, he said importantly. But in the meantime, I'm more than willing to take up the slack. Of course, it's not all attending balls. Get a life.
That is his life.
So Harry and Ron peace out. They head outside, and they don't get very far before they, hear their other favorite person's voice. Here comes Snape.
All right, give me this. I'm ready. Let's do it.
What?
Snape's voice.
I can't do Snape's voice.
Yes, you can.
I can't.
Come on.
Sarah does.
Don't you see what this is about, Giggle? My daughter is asleep.
Sounded like Umbridge. So Snape's like, don't see what there is to fuss about, Igor. His voice sounded anxious and hushed. As though keen not to be overheard. Mm-hmm. I think that was Karkaroff's voice who was like that. Because he says, it's been getting clearer and clearer for months. I'm becoming seriously concerned. I can't deny it. And Snape goes, then flee. And he's all curt.
Yeah.
Flee, I will make your excuses. I, however, am remaining at Hogwarts.
Yeah.
This gets an LOL, though,
Like a
to
boss.
Snape, because he's saying this while blasting rose bushes apart because everybody's making out in the bushes
And there's
outside.
a cut scene that there's legitimately scene where they do this, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my god, it's so funny.
It should have made it in.
Yeah, I agree.
So he takes away points from Ravenclaw and Hufflepuff. Naughty, naughty, Fawcett, and Stebbins.
You'll get caughty.
And he spots Harry and Ron, and Ron's like, we're walking. Is that against the law? He's like, no, just get out of my way.
I'm walking here.
So they're wondering, what has Karkaroff so worried? And since when are him and Snape on first name terms?
Well, so, since they put on some masks. And,
I mean,
did some gross.
If you think
Dark
about
stuff.
it, Harry, you know that Igor Karkaroff is a Death Eater, so why would they be on first name basis? Sir, use your brain.
Hermione should have put it together.
Yeah, well, he just made her run away. So.
Does he know yet that
Harry
Igor is a
didn't.
Death Eater?
Yeah, they've talked about it because Sirius told him.
Oh, that's right. I was thinking of the memory that he hasn't seen yet. You're right. And then side note, like Sarah said, that is a deleted scene on the film. They're not caught in the bushes. They're caught in a carriage
yeah.
parked
Which is-
in the courtyard.
Interesting, like because if you think about it book-wise, there's no need for a carriage.
Yeah.
It's a
Well,
carriage
yeah.
said in Sarah language.
And also, it's in the books, like
Rage of Kara.
There are horses out there or something. Or reindeer. There's reindeer out there.
Yeah. In the
Gosh,
books,
it's been
though-
so long since I've seen this movie.
I haven't watched 4
I remember
in a while.
that deleted scene, but I don't remember the horses. I was thinking
No, horses in the
Thresholds
book.
would be doing.
Reindeer in the book.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you think they just had like a fun little thing, like take a reindeer sleigh ride?
Oh, that's cute. I mean, they do that like in Central Park. Not reindeer.
I am
but
adorable. Just saying.
But in a bunch of like the European book version of this, they mixed up Fawcett and Stebbins with Ravenclaw and Hufflepuff because later on in like book 6 or something, they mention one of them in their proper house. So then they corrected it in the American version. But in the deleted scene, it's incorrect again.
That's cool. Fun facts.
Fun facts behind the scenes.
Okay, we ready to hear about some more overheard conversations?
Yeah, I'm into it because this is the kind of stuff that I'm most looking forward to. Like anything that's
What, eavesdropping?
no, but
Eavesdropping?
but more Voldemort type conversations. Like anything that I can pull and relate to Seven. Really like
For a moment,
makes
I
me
lost my
happy.
book. So we obviously know that he was listening to Igor and Snape. And so Ron sees Fleur with Davies out there, and so he doesn't want to like be near her because he's super embarrassed.
right.
And
he's like,
Harry,
"No, no."
Harry kind of sees like this exit, and he's like, "All right, let's go. Like we can leave." And Ron's like, "No." So he kind of pulls him closer, like into the bushes, basically, like into the shadows.
What were they doing?
Davies is probably having the time of his life.
And
The way that he was looking at her earlier.
They overhear Hagrid talking to Madame Maxime. And so basically, like once Ron pulls him more, Harry being him, closer into the shadows, they're closer to Hagrid, so they can kind of hear his conversation a little bit better. So we hear that Hagrid is telling Maxime he knew what he knew when he saw her, except I said say her, that she was like him. And then he was like, "Was it your mother or father?" And she's like, "What are you talking about?" And then he tells her it was his mom. And she was one of the last ones in Britain, and she left him and his father, when he was about 3. So he's still not telling her what he's talking about.
Right.
He's like, it's not in their nature to be maternal and, all that other stuff. And so Maxime still, like, really hasn't said much. And she kind of has, like, an uncomfortable look. Like, she doesn't like where this conversation is going. And, like, Harry feels super uncomfortable listening in because he's like, I know if I was in this situation, I wouldn't want someone listening to my conversation.
Yeah.
Which is, I wouldn't call it foreshadowing because in the same, I guess, kind of, because in the same paragraph, you find out, so he's trying to, instead of focusing on the conversation, which this is what I would have been doing because I like to focus on people's conversation. Like, I'm a good eavesdropper, which is kind of a bad thing, but that's how you find out good information. But he's trying to watch the beetle that was crawling on one of the reindeer outside. But obviously that didn't work. And I said, what up, Rita? Because we find out later, that's her. So Hagrid then starts talking to Maxime about his dad and how his dad was heartbroken when she left. And then he goes, he was a tiny man, and by the time Hagrid was 6 years old, he could lift him up and put him on the dresser when he annoyed him. But his dad thought it was very funny. And then he went on to say, unfortunately, he died shortly after he started school. And then Hagrid was on his own after that. But fortunately for Hagrid, he had Dumbledore, who was a lot of help to him and was very kind to him during this time. And so then it even goes into the book saying how he like pulled out his little handkerchief. Because I'm like, he got a little teary-eyed because his mom left him and then his dad died. And he had to blow his nose.
Could have given him his new tissue.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Unless it was used. And I said, poor dude, because I do feel bad for him.
Yeah, of course.
And then, so Maxime kind of like gets up, like she's like wanting to make a nice exit before things got further into the conversation. But Hagrid goes, he's never met another one before, and she wasn't pleased with that. And she's like, another what precisely? And he's like, a half giant, of course. Well, wrong thing to say, my friend.
Oh, Madam
So she was not pleased in the least. And she basically says this. I'm not saying it with her little French accent, so I'm just going to read it. It says, how dare you? I have never been more insulted in my life. Half giant, me, I have big bones. So then she storms off, and then that leaves Hagrid on the bench. So after a beat, he, decides to get up, and then he goes into the direction of his hut, which is like sad times. And then Harry then's like, all right, come on, let's leave. But Ron doesn't move. And then he's like, Harry asks him, what's up? The sky. Oh my God. Bad jokes, my friend, bad jokes. And then I wanted to read what Ron has to say. Because Ron looked around at Harry. His expression was very serious indeed. Did you know, he whispered, about Hagrid being half giant? No, Harry said, shrugging. So what? He knew immediately from the look Ron was giving him that he was once again revealing his ignorance of the wizarding world. Brought up by the Dursleys, there were many things that wizards took for granted that were revelations to Harry. But these surprises had become fewer with each successive year. Now, however, he could tell that most wizards would not have said so what upon finding out one of their friends had been a giantess for a mother. And then Ron's like, all right, I'll explain inside. So they go inside, and then it says Fleur and Roger Davies had disappeared, probably into a more private clump of bushes, which makes me giggle. And then you see Pavarti and Padma are now sitting at a distant table with a whole crowd of Beauxbaton's boys. And Hermione was finally enjoying herself again with
I always
Grum.
forget that they have boy students with them.
Yeah.
Because of the movie.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then Ron and Harry sat down at a table far removed from the dance floor. And so he goes on to say, so Harry's like, all right, so what's the problem with giants? And Ron says, while they're there, he struggled for words, not very nice. And Harry's like, who cares? There's nothing wrong with Hagrid. And Ron's like, I know there isn't, but blimey, no wonder he keeps it quiet, Ron said, shaking his head. I always thought he'd got in the way of a bad engorgement charm when he was a kid or something, didn't like to mention it, which makes me giggle. You think that they'd be able to fix it if that was actually the case. And then he's like, but what's it matter if his mother was a giantess, said Harry. And Ron goes, well, no one who knows him will care because they'll know he's not dangerous. But Harry, they're just vicious giants. It's like Hagrid said, it's in their nature. They're like trolls. They just like killing. Everyone knows that. There aren't any left in Britain now, though. And then he's like, well, what happened to them? He goes, well, they were dying out anyways, and then loads of them got themselves killed by Aurors. They're supposed to be giants abroad, though. They hide out in mountains, mostly. And then I like that Harry goes, I don't know who Maxime thinks she's kidding. If Hagrid's half giant, she definitely is. Big bones. The only thing that's got bigger bones than her is a dinosaur. And it made me think of Tiffany because she likes dinosaurs.
I do like dinosaurs.
And then I want to just read some things from the interwebs. So there is a page, because we talked about this before, giants, on another episode. But obviously they're colossal creatures. This is from Pottermore. Colossal creatures which can be extremely dangerous. They're vicious or violent nature, known to remove heads when angered. And when I read this the first time, it reminded me of Chewbacca, who, if you anger him, he'll rip your arms off. They also have a behind the scenes, and that's on Pottermore, and that usually talks about how they create things for the movies. And it says the giants may have been computer generated, but creating 20-foot tall creatures and making them look realistic beings with whom actors could interact was no small task. I also can't read.
I don't enjoy the look of the giant.
Yeah. It says the films of the Harry Potter series showcased a large amount of creatures, none so large as the giants. Giants can reach up to 20 feet in height, only 4 feet taller than trolls, and only has proportionately higher intelligence. Prior to the events of Order of the Phoenix, Voldemort is gathering his strength and supporters. Hagrid is set to parley with giants. During his journey, we find his half-brother Grop. We know we all have issues with how he looked. And it says, in the Battle of Hogwarts Part 2, there was supposed to be some that was computer generated, but the digital crew knew it would be beneficial to start the design process with film of live action actors. Prosthetics were created to scale up features on the actors' faces. Actors of varying oversized proportions wore the prosthetic makeup along with loincloths and were filmed running on treadmills. Then these green screen movements were imported into a digital format. The giants' faces were scaled up again and distorted to lessen their human features. The bottom half of the giants' legs were made broader to suggest a lower center of gravity, and some were given feet with elephant-like toes. The giants' costume design included belts of skulls and human teeth. I think that's pretty cool. And hairstyles that contained branches and leaves.
See, I don't remember. Like, I know in 7 giants were there in the battle,
but they're not like prominent, you
Yeah.
know. And
I
like
don't-
during the battle, it's so dark that like you don't see the details.
Yeah, I was like, I don't even remember them in the movie, but also I don't tend to watch part 2 because I don't like it.
Sad.
Yeah. And then there's also one of my favorite, because I have the art of Harry Potter. One of my favorite pictures from that book is they have artwork that's a young Dumbledore. Not a young Dumbledore, because that's not who we're talking about. A young Hagrid. And they also have the picture on Pottermore, so I will put that in the doc so you all can see it. And then I wanted to kind of look up famous giants. So there's on Mental Floss, 10 mythical giants from around the world. So the first one is Atlas, and that's the giant who holds up the sky, and that's with Greek mythology, which I thought was cool. I'm not going to go too into these because we don't got time. And then Balor, one-eyed god of death, and that's in Irish mythology. He was the king. It's cool. He was much like Cyclops, was a one-eyed giant.
I like that.
Then there's a drunken Norse giant, and I don't know if I can say his name.
Okay.
Hrungnir, Hrungnir, one of the biggest and baddest in Norse legends. And one day, Odin, who's the leader of the Norse gods of Asgard, challenged him to a horse race. Cool.
That's cool.
Then the heathen giants. There's Gentil, Gentil. That's like of the Basque, I'm so saying that wrong, region of France and Spain, said to represent the pagans who inhabited the island before Christianity. Then we all know Goliath. That's the biblical giant, defeated by David. There's another one-eyed Cyclops, Polyphemus. That's in Greek mythology.
There's lots of
A lot of Greek mythology.
There's an Oni, which is a Japanese giant demon.
That's scary.
Oni are often hideous giants in demon form. They're depicted looking fearsome with red or blue skin, 3 fingers and toes, and grotesque horns. I feel like I've heard of Oni before.
Me too.
Yeah, same.
But from what though?
I don't know.
Something.
Obviously.
Okay.
Then there's Gog Magog, the last British giant.
Sounds like
Yeah. Says the source of that information comes from the Welshman Geoffrey of Monmouth.
Joffrey. Don't say that name.
Game
Wow.
of Chairs.
Then there's another one which I will not be able to say. It's a Hindu epic from, and it's like
Comeback Arena.
Yeah, it's a giant appetite, which that's Tiffany.
Just call it Tiffany.
And there's Orion, and left his mark in the stars.
Orion was a giant.
Greek giant Orion.
Yeah, I think they mentioned that when we did that astronomy thing at the Natural History Museum.
It says in one version, he's an egotistical hunter who brags that he can kill any beast alive. On hearing of his boast, a tiny scorpion stings Orion and he falls down dead.
Bye.
In another one, he's left blind after he tried to take O.P.P.O as his wife against the will of her father. To regain his sight, Vulcan bid his friend Cadelin, to sit on Orion's shoulders and lead him towards the east where the sun god dwelled. And then as the sun rose, Orion's sight was restored by the beams. That's really cool if you care about that stuff. I find that stuff interesting.
It's neat.
Anyway, so I said those two lame-os spent the rest of the ball, sitting alone talking about the giants. And the Weird Sisters, they stopped playing the music right around midnight. And then I think everyone was a little sad to be done, but Harry was perfectly happy to be going to bed. And then they saw Hermione saying goodnight to Victor, and she gave Ron a very cold look, and she kind of brushed past him to go to the common room.
Good for you.
But I want to talk about Ron. Obviously, we can tell he's a little prejudiced. And so I try to look up stuff about him and his issues. He doesn't have a tissue to fix them like Harry does. So Bustle has an article that's 10 lessons we all learned from Ron Weasley. And some of them are you don't have to be the center of attention to succeed. Family loyalty is important. Treat your friends like family. And then the one I'm going to talk about is you can overcome prejudice. And it's just a short paragraph. And it says, since Ron grew up in the wizarding world, he holds certain prejudices that Harry and Hermione don't share. For example, he believes that house elves should be made to do housework or household work without pay. However, he's proof that just because you once believed something doesn't mean you can't learn and change the way you think. Yes. Throughout this series, Ron becomes more accepting and respectful of others, which ultimately leads him and Hermione's first kiss. Which is true. I think that he's a good representation of someone who is a little bit ignorant to other people's perspectives, and once he's gets to see how gets to see the things from other ways, and he's okay, that's not right.
Yeah.
Other things in this article is it's okay to have flaws. Everyone has them. Book smart are not the only form of intelligence.
True.
Being remarkable can't replace being good. Be brave even when the going gets tough, and it's good to express your emotions, even though it might be the size of a teaspoon, range of a teaspoon.
Mine is.
And it says you can always come back. Oh, I like that one too. But yes, that's a lesson that I think it takes him a while to learn. And I think that Harry and Hermione are good at helping him realize he doesn't always believe in the not correct, but sees how he might be wrong in what he's thinking,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Harry and Ron are going back to their rooms, So halfway up the stairs, Cedric stops Harry, and Harry notices that Cho is waiting for him at the bottom. Ron was still with Harry, and then Cedric basically waits till Ron left. And then he says, listen, I owe you for telling me about the dragons. You know that golden egg? Does yours wail when you open it? And then, like I said in the summary, Cedric must have thought Harry smelled from all that non-dancing and brooding over Cho not being his date. Because he tells him, take a bath, okay? Take a bath and take the egg with you. And just mull things over in hot water. It'll help you think. Trust me. So he basically also tells Harry, he's you know what? Use the prefect's bathroom. It's behind the statue of Boris the Bewildered, and the password is Pine Fresh. And I said, I wonder if Pine Sol sponsored this bathroom.
Sponsor us, Pine Sol.
So Harry walks back to the common room, and he's that's an odd conversation that I just had with Cedric. And then he's was he pulling my leg? Does he really just want to chuckle at me with the show, being he asked me to the dance, and I said no, and you made him go take a bath with the neg. There is this thing I saw on the internet where someone, it was two truths and a lie or something, and they were famous people, and I forget who it was, but they said that oh, you know what it was? Oh shoot, it's a show in England, and I forget what it's called. And they said that I take a bath with a raw egg in it, I crack an egg in it, and you can tell how good the bath is depending on how cooked the egg is. It wasn't true, but it was a funny thing. God, I wish I knew what it was called. I forget. I watched it all the time. Anyways, it's with Rob Reiner, I think is his name. He's the host of it, and I wish I could remember the name of it. So the fat lady and her friend V were snoozing hardcore. So we had to yell the password, fairy lights. And for
now-
Americans that don't know, these are just like, like Christmas lights. They call them fairy lights.
Now everybody knows the password.
Well, sorry. You know the password of the prefix line. The line, bathroom. Pine Fresh. And so they were irritated that he woke them up. And I was like, but like, it's your
Do your job, yo.
Like,
Listen, they're just
sorry.
trying to
You
have a
also
good
know it's
time.
like Yule Ball. People are coming back late.
Face is a
Also-
Yule Ball.
What are Cedric and Cho doing? Why was she waiting for him? Go back to your common room.
They're gonna snug.
So once inside the common room, Harry sees that Ron and Hermione were having a, quote from the book, blazing row.
Ugh.
They're 10 feet apart, and they're both very red in the face. It literally says scarlet in the face.
Marital spat.
And so I'm going to read their little conversation, but I'm not going to yell because my niece is sleeping and her mother would stab me if I woke her up.
Ooh, these are all things that are true.
Says, well, if you don't like it, you know what the solution is, don't you? Yelled Hermione. Her hair was coming down out of its elegant bun now, and her face was screwed up in anger. Oh, yeah, Ron yelled back. What's that? Next time there's a ball, ask me before someone else does, and that is a last resort. And I wrote in my book, go Hermione. So Ron mouthed soundlessly like a goldfish out of water as Hermione turned on her heel, stormed up the girls' staircase to bed.
Do the Ron face.
What I love, Hermione, love you. Perfect response. And I love that she turned and left. You got the last word in. You go, girl. Hermione, yes.
Yeah, this was good. This was good. We
So-
won this one.
He deserved those words.
So Ron turns to look at Harry. Well, he sputtered, looking thunderstruck. Well, that just proves completely missed the point. Harry didn't say anything. He liked being back on speaking terms with Ron too much to speak his mind right now. But he somehow thought that Hermione had gotten the point much better than Ron had. And I said yes. But at the same time, Harry, you're friends with both of them.
Correct.
So you probably could have stuck up for Hermione a little bit.
I agree.
Bravery.
Maybe it would have made her made him realize
Yeah.
what a dumb he was being.
Oh, I was
And I-
wrong.
Neville. He needs to be a Neville. You got to stand up to your friends too when you know that they're not
Yes.
doing right.
And I also think that I don't think Ron would have stopped talking to him. I think he just would have been like, whatever. I need to go to
I'm
bed."
going to bed.
Yeah.
Is what you would have also said. Because you are very much Ron and you are very much Ron. Look at you.
No,
You
I
is
feel like
it.
I'd be more of the Hermione in this situation. Like if I, you know what I mean? If we're dancing around the circle, I'd be like, just, you got to ask me. You know what I mean?
I like that how that's verbatim in the movie too. It's not in the right setting, but she does say those
Tea
exact
has been
words.
sipped. Statements have been made. This is
Hermione. I just called you Hermione.
Hermione.
Tiffany's flinging her wand at me. She's throwing spells.
I'm just saying.
Hermione very much reminds me of me in this book, if I'm being honest. I really like her in this book.
You can be Hermione.
Hermione.
But that's the end of the chapter.
Yeah, that was
But go Hermione.
a lot of
So
things.
you're, how many
We learned
years?
a lot this chapter.
3 more years, right? It
Goodness.
takes for
Well-
Ron to like. Well, really, I think Hermione makes the first move because she kisses him once he says SPEW.
Yeah, but in Hallows they were like holding hands and stuff at Grimmauld Place.
They were definitely. It was.
They were vibing in
was-
private.
yeah, but they were vibing now too. You know what I mean?
But
They've been
not
vibing,
like that.
but like it didn't. Nothing for me clicked until they smooched because of Spew. Spew made him smooch.
I like smooch.
I like Spew. It's literally sick.
Fan story. Speaking of eggs,
Are we not doing
Lightning
any
bolt
lightning
round.
bolts questions?
I scrolled past that. Put that in.
Oh, is that the lightning bolt?
Yeah, they do fun sounds.
We should do the That's what it makes me think of.
Oh, the saw.
The
Yeah.
musical saw.
Sure. Insert musical saw. Do you want me to pull
People
from the
sent.
Twitter?
Yeah, you do. We'll alternate because people sent a bunch in
Well,
here too.
some of these on Twitter can be used for later on as well.
Okay.
Um,
Indubitably.
Kelsey, the Stars from Twitter says, who would you ask to the ball and how would you do it?
Give me some context.
Does it have to be a
It's
character?
the Yule Ball.
No, I mean like,
But does it have to be a Harry Potter character?
Correct.
Can it be like somebody in our personal life?
I don't know. She didn't specify.
I would ask
I'm
Meg.
asking you.
And
I
I
would
would
ask
have
Katie.
I would have Teddy come with a little tag around his collar.
I would have Iggy come with a little tag around his collar.
Lame.
Steal my idea.
Huh. Lame for stealing.
Get your own ball proposal.
I would have Fozzie come with a little tag around his collar.
Then I'd borrow Foz. I'm just kidding.
No, I would ask Martanius O'Malley.
The fact that you, I don't know if we legitimately have a connection because I literally in my head was like, she'd ask Martanius, and I'm not even lying. I'm not even lying.
Tiffany's
It's
face.
kind of scary.
You're crying. She's crying.
I don't know why. My eyes are just
It's
watering.
because you're so in love with me.
Do you ever like
in love with me.
talk to somebody and all of a sudden your eyes just start watering and you're like, what is wrong with me? Like, why am I just crying? That literally happens to me all the time. And I feel like an idiot at work because it'll be when I'm asking somebody a serious question and then all of a sudden my eyes are watering and I'm like, they think that I'm crying. I don't get it.
Honestly, it's never happened to me.
It hasn't?
No.
My eyes water all the time.
Sorry.
Like I'll like ask one of my coworkers something stupid like about the computers and then all of a sudden I'm like, my eyes are watering. So I'm like asking her a question and I'm like,
They're like in the break
care
room.
about technology.
I just really care about technology.
Megan
really-
cried over a laptop.
It's really, I cried over an iPod once, but that's because my dad was going to yell at me and then he did. It was brand new. iPad Color, like once they were discontinued and then it broke. I literally had it for 2 weeks.
That sounds about right for you.
Well, I didn't break it. My friend pushed me and I fell and it broke. And then
Also sounds about right for you.
I saw my dad's angry face and that's scary. Scary Terry.
Do we want another one?
Well, I'd ask Marty.
Oh, okay.
I mean, yeah, no.
Claire's going stag.
Sure.
Whose Yule, Kim asked this in the Discord chat, whose Yule Ball outfit did you like the most? Can be book or movie version.
I thought
I guess I enjoy Herm.
Hermione looked beautiful.
Harry
I mean,
looks
she's
great.
just a beautiful lady.
I
Yes.
love Harry in the
Harry-
movies.
wow.
I like the white with the black.
Yeah,
he
he
looks
looks-
just simple.
he looked
Yes.
dapper.
He looked very dapper. He'd look better if he had a haircut.
I don't do this with you every episode
Also-
in this book.
I also really liked Floors.
Who's that?
Floor.
I'm trying to remember what she looked like.
Yeah, I don't remember.
It was like blue again, I'm pretty sure. It was like a blue silky
she
dress.
looks really good in blue.
She just does. It just looks nice.
Right?
Okay. Oh, also Cedric. He looked dapper. And Cho. And like I said before, I really liked Pavardi's
Cho
outfit.
looked really pretty as well.
Yeah, I like Cho's.
I mean, they all look nice. You know, when you get all dressed up, you look good.
Yeah. Except Ron.
Oh.
Did Ron have no eyebrows at one point in this book?
What?
Yeah, he singed him off with
Okay.
exploding snap.
J Garza 1890 on Twitter asked, "Did Ron ask Fleur to the ball with no eyebrows?" Possible.
Maybe that's why she didn't really answer him / said no.
Completely possible. Okay. Do you also do you think with Ron's comment to Herm when he said that thing about quote all the good ones are gone solidified her in saying yes to Crumb when he asked? I almost feel like she did it to shock him. Ron and Harry, I swear. And then she does like the
I think that she had probably already
I agree.
said yes to him.
okay.
at
I
that
agree.
point.
Because I think that, like, Hermione didn't go with him to, like, make anyone mad. Like, she went with
She
him
just-
because she
'cause she
genuinely,
liked him,
like,
yeah.
she wanted to and she enjoyed being in his company. Because, like, I don't think the first time they ever talked was at the ball. You know what I mean? I think they hung out a little bit.
Like this makes me sound like a turd. But like growing up, like you can like 2 boys at once, or 2 girls at once, or 2 whoever at once, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like flirty feelings or whatever. I think if Ron would have asked her, she would have said yes, and Crumb asked her, and she said yes because she had that kind of.
I don't know if she would have been the type to
Feeling
say
toward him.
no. You know what I mean?
Oh, I think she would.
But, like, I don't know.
I think she would. It makes me think of a Gilmore Girl thing when Kirk asks Lorelai out, and she like lets him down pretty easily. I feel like if someone like Neville asked her out and she didn't want to go, and it doesn't have to be Neville,
I think
she would let.
said yes
I
to
think,
Neville.
yeah, I do too. But like, she would have let them down easy if she didn't want to go. You know what I don't know. I feel like she's strong enough to say no. But I think in the like solidifying thing, I think it made her like her choice.
I think she was happier about it.
Yeah.
Bye.
So it solidified it in that respect, at least for me, for sure.
Vinny asked, do you think Ron just realized now that he likes Hermione? Or has he known?
Maybe this is a solidifying thing for him as well.
I think maybe he realizes that
He might still be.
he's
working
not the
through
only
it.
one. You know what I mean? Like there's something like, oh well, she's always
She's
gonna
not
be
always
around.
going to be there. I'm sorry. If you're taking too long, somebody might just snatch her right on up.
Yep.
Just saying.
Yeah, it's true.
Can't wait forever. Life moves on. World keeps spinning. People keep drinking coffee. Here we go.
And sipping tea.
Okay. Do we want another one from the tweeter?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just keep alternating.
Gabrielle Tisda 1. I think it's supposed to be like Tisdale, but Tisda 1. What would you do if you heard Snape and Karkaroff whispering whispers?
Oh,
I'd listen.
You're 100%.
Yeah, I would 100% listen, and then I go tell
Everybody.
you three.
This is how like so I have a large family and so there's a lot of gossip and my mom doesn't tell me any because realistically it's none of my business, but I also like to know. So I like to eavesdrop on conversations so I can be in the
She's
know.
Rita Beetle.
But like in a nice way, because I'm not trying to like gossip. Like I just want to be in the know. I don't necessarily want to spread it. You know what I mean? And I also wouldn't spread lies. Because I'm a very honest person.
But would you spread truths?
I'm not gonna like if you ask me flat out, I'm not gonna lie. Like that's the one thing. Like my mom knows that like if you say something to me, she's like I'm better at it now. But when I was a kid, like you would tell me something and I didn't keep secrets. But I'm very good, and I've learned from my mother. I'm very good at listening and picking up things. I'm like, that's interesting. So like I'm good at like watching people and gathering the news, like a beetle on the wall. Or the beetle on the reindeer, you know what I'm saying?
I'm going to be a beetle on the reindeer for some stuff, for sure.
And that's what's like aggravating when I'm not in a situation and some crazy stuff happens and I have my siblings who aren't as good at it as I am. And I'm like, you didn't get the good gossip. I'm like, you have to tell me what happened. They're like, oh, come on.
So essentially you're a gossip fiend, but you're trying to deny it.
This is what my grandmother would say because my grandmother, listen to me, and you would agree, Grandma Hagen, I cannot express to you how much I loved this woman. I mean, I still do, but she's passed now. She was the world's biggest gossip.
Yeah.
But the way that she would like spin it to be like, I'm not a gossip. She's like, I just like to know everything so I can pray for people. Come on.
Oh my God.
She's yelling at you right now.
She's probably throwing her head back and laughing.
Probably.
But I just like to be in the know. You know what I mean? So I can almost be Switzerland, but like have all of the information.
You need all the info.
Yes.
Yeah. You need to beetle that.
Yeah.
Beetle on the reindeer that. Yeah. Okay. Is it your turn or my turn? Because I've got some great ones on the tweeter.
Isaiah,
What up?
what musician would you want to come to Hogwarts? I know Megan wants Taylor Swift. You're correct.
Blink 182.
Ooh, that would be
That would be
good.
so fun.
I'm trying to think of like who.
Good Charlotte.
That's what I was
I
gonna
wouldn't
say.
hate it. I wouldn't hate it.
I would dance to that.
I'm trying to think.
Ed Sheeran.
No.
Charlie!
He's too much of a like.
But you could like get down with
a lot
like
of
sing
slow
or
sound.
don't.
But like most of his songs aren't. I mean,
I
I can
know.
say that. Like good few. His new song I enjoy very much.
Beyonce.
I just heard it for the first time today and I was like, whoa,
Well, it
what?
just came out today.
Oh, I didn't know.
So let's just say, move over T Swift. My man, Charlie Weasley, has a new song out, and I enjoy
well.
it.
J. Beebs.
NSYNC.
Yes. Ooh.
Backstreet Boys.
Backstreet
Get out of
Spice
here.
Girls.
You can
Spice
leave.
Girls
The
for
door
sure.
is right there.
Spice
How
Girls.
dare you say that in my home?
I
Not
feel
that I don't
Did I ever
enjoy
tell
them.
you the story about how my mom cleaned teeth for somebody who was one of their dancers and he got me Justin Timberlake's autograph even though my mom asked me who I wanted and I said that I wanted JC, but she relayed the message as JT and then I got Justin Timberlake's autograph and I was so upset about it I ripped it up and threw it away.
You
Tiffany's face.
also a fun fact that my favorite band
You could've,
member
like-
was Lance.
Been best friends with him.
You know? I was the Backstreet Boys.
God,
though.
you're a fool. You're a fool.
Instinct for life.
Oh my God.
Back in the day where you had to like order CDs from magazines.
Oh yeah.
You could get like almost like a Disney movie rewards, but like CDs or whatever. So you'd pick out like 10. My mom got In Sync in the mail, and like we were a BSB household. And for a minute, I felt pretty like my mom was a traitor for a second. Oh my God. But then I got over
Did you feel dirty listening to it?
dirty pop.
Have you heard there's a new, not Potter related, there's a boy band, the boy band Con, which is on YouTube. It's a documentary all about like how they both got screwed over, like, and other people.
I really
and so
need to
you know
watch
how there's
that.
like a huge rivalry between Backstreet Boys and NSYNC.
It was created
so
by
Lou
that dude,
Pearlman
right?
created it. He
Yeah.
both told both groups that like they hate you and they're saying all this stuff and they had no idea, and they finally met like. They were both living in Germany or something, and they like met. And they're like, we've been hearing like thought you were, and like they were like
Oh my
no, and that's how
God.
they kind of realized while they were going through like all these proceedings to like sue Lou. I haven't watched it yet, but I want to watch it so bad.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
What's it called?
The boy band Con. And when I first saw it, I'm like, is that like a boy band convention that like Lance Bass is doing? No, it's a documentary that he like,
Lance Bass is doing.
like I literally thought that's what it was.
Oh my God. Okay. This comes from at Wizards Meme. If you would attend the Yule Ball, which type of person would you be? Dancing, sitting in a corner, very dressed up.
Snack bar.
Snacks. I would not be dressed up because that's not my
I
type
would
of
be-
person, which is a lie. I would 1,000% be dressed up.
I would
Yeah.
be dressed up.
I would be dressed up. I'd be
would be
dancing.
dancing
I'd be
and
sweating.
snacking.
I would be shoeless.
For
It's
sure.
always how I ended up at dances.
For sure shoeless. One wedding in my entire life, and I've been to quite a few. One have I worn my shoes the entire time and danced.
I wore my shoes the entire time at my wedding, only
Yeah, but
because
you
they
had
were
flats.
fantastic sandal flats. Loved it. They were jeweled.
Yeah. I took the ones for Megan and Katie's wedding. I took those suckers off as soon as I could. They were very high because they made me buy blush pink shoes.
They were adorable. Just saying.
I don't know what I did at your wedding. I was making out with some kind of.
Our knight in shining
Oh,
armor
right.
that we had.
I literally
Sir
paused. I was
Cadogan.
like, who are you making out with? Because Marty wasn't there. And I was like, oh.
Yeah.
I had
We
think
had a
hard.
night in our
Sir
photo
Cadogan.
booth.
Knight
Well,
in
he
silver
wasn't
armor.
originally in the photo booth. He somehow, by the end of the night, wound
How
up
did
in the
he
photo
get
booth,
there?
though. I think our friend Kelly brought him in there. Our friend
That
Kelly
was
from
some-
Australia. Shout out to Australians, always causing some trubs.
I went in that photo booth probably like 30 million times.
We know. We have the documentation.
I have all the
Hold on,
photos.
just reading from the chat. I've seen Ed Sheeran live 4 times. Wait, 1, 2,
I've only seen him
3,
live
4,
once.
4 to 5 times. I love seeing him live. He's not music I'm gonna dance to, if that makes any sense. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
he's music you're gonna sing to. and-
I'm like that annoying person that like you don't
No
want to
way.
go see anything musical with me because I'll sing. And I literally, him and Adele are my 2 favorite artists. Neither one of them. To me, I wouldn't dance to either one of those music. Slow dance, but not like let me get jiggy with it. Nah.
Chat question.
Go.
Oh wait, no, it's your turn. Wait, right?
No.
She just read.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought we were talking about boy bands.
I have a
still.
bunch. We can fire through these. We got to fire through these pretty quick.
Do you think that Hermione knows that Harry's ancestors created the Sleek Easy hair potion?
I thought about this.
Yeah,
No.
but wouldn't she have said something?
I don't think he knows.
I don't think that she would have said something because I think that she knows that he doesn't care.
Do you think that she knows that he doesn't know that he doesn't know that he doesn't know?
Yeah.
Like, I
for
wonder
sure.
if that would not upset him, but I wonder if that would make him feel a little weird that, like, she knows more about his family than he does, you know?
Maybe that's why she didn't say
Maybe he
anything.
should
Yeah.
read books.
Reading is hard.
True.
Nothing is hard for Harry. Let's be real.
Okay, so when Harry was talking to Percy, what do you think? Do you think that Percy said too much about what has been happening at the ministry after he said that he was promoted when Harry asked him why Barty Crouch Sr. didn't come to the ball? So basically, do you think
Do you think he opened his mouth a little too much?
correct?
Oh, yeah. I think he
Yeah.
has that tendency to, what's the word I'm looking for?
I think he
Like,
wanted to just make sure people knew that he got a promotion.
Yeah.
So he was
Yeah.
going to say
Yes.
what was happening, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the kind of person that doesn't wait for you to ask. Like he's like just like here's the information.
By the way, have I told you I got promoted? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I wanted your head to go the other way and say something else, but it never happened.
I'm Percy Weasley. I'm like basically the best.
That's Ernie Mac.
Do you have another one, Megan?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a bell, not a mouse.
Yep. Why do you think Hermione in the movie yelled at Harry? He hadn't done anything.
Because she was frustrated.
I think it was
remember
just
that.
her emotions were high.
Yeah.
And it didn't matter who walked up to her. She was blowing.
And where have you been? And Harry's like, oh.
Oh, that. Okay.
Yeah.
Because she had to mom someone.
She was just angry.
I tend to mom from time to time. Okay. Okay. I'm just going to read all these letters. It's Michelle, but it's at LOTRHPFRK. This is on the tweeter. So, and I'm gonna change this.
Is that Lord of the Rings?
Lord of the Rings.
Why are you looking at me like I did
Lord of the
something
Rings,
wrong?
Harry Potter freak. Look at you people telling me letters.
Tiffany,
Here we got you.
You're just a little bit older than us, so that's probably
You're, like,
why you
so
don't
much older.
understand.
I'm so old right now.
Oh my God, this is not information.
Hurry up,
that's
I gotta
important.
read
But
Michelle's
You and I
thing.
are the oldest, and these two are the youngest, and we sit across, and it means nothing.
It really genuinely means nothing.
It's like a pattern, and I enjoy patterns.
You like it's a A-B-B-A pattern.
It's that's what
Abba?
O.P.P.O.
Oppo.
Apple.
If you go this way, it's poop.
I just prefer poop. I prefer poop to Oppo.
Depends on the day.
Or it could be
Whoop. One of these needs to be the episode title.
or poo.
Popo?
Popo. Op op. Op op. Does anybody know what we're
You're
talking
way
about?
Too tired.
Discord, do you even know what
All
we're
I'm gonna say is
saying?
my bladder is full.
Mine is too.
Okay,
man.
let's move along here. Do you have any more, or should I roll through these last ones?
I have one more.
Do it to it.
When do you think Hermione started to like Ron? Hopefully not this chapter.
There's a lot of people that theorize that she started really liking him when he sacrificed himself in Sorcerer's Stone.
Ooh, yeah.
I
Okay.
think why she's so angry at him in this book is because she probably
wanted
feels like
him to
something
ask
has
her.
been blossoming, and she kind of maybe thought that he would, and then he totally like
I'm
did
down
a
with that.
180.
That's my
Hermione,
headcanon.
it sucks. I feel you, girl. You also never asked.
I never asked the question.
Correct.
I never asked Michelle's question.
Oh my god. Oh yeah.
That's why I was like, oh, okay,
Okay.
I guess we're not going to ask her a question.
So
right
I'm gonna limit this one. So it says, say the Yule Ball is like like a Hollywood party, and say they had goodie bags. What would be included in the bags? Give me one thing in the Wizarding world that would be included in your like VIP.
Sleeky Z's hair potion.
like
Oh my
a Wizarding
God.
World thing.
Yeah.
dung bombs.
Why?
Because it's funny.
No, but it needs to. They're like fancy gifts. They give like iPads and stuff.
That
and, like,
just shows you how fancy Meg is.
those like
I'm gonna give you some
Give me a
dung
pile of
bombs.
poop.
those hard masks that like have light spewing out of them for your face.
Yeah.
like these are the kinds of things like they give like
With the teeth,
ridiculous.
the teeth one.
Yeah,
I've seen Chris Pratt have those. He's like, that's right way down.
like they give ridiculous goodie bags.
Fun
out.
fact: I asked Marty if he would do a face mask with me, a green one, so he could pretend to be Hulk, and he told me no.
It's probably good for his skin, Martin.
That's what I said. He did a Bure nose strip one time, long time ago. He's like, I just wanted to see what it would do. I was like, you want to do it again?
I looked into the cabinet when we moved in with Chris, and he had Bior strips in the
Okay,
cabinet.
blackheads. Everybody has them. So.
Yeah. It just made me laugh. I was like, oh, okay.
What if a true Hollywood party had like a fireball?
That'd be
Whoa.
Dude.
That's what I'm telling you. They do ridiculous gifts. Like some people give
Okay.
out like iPads and stuff.
So Firebolt.
Dragonhide gloves.
Fireball.
Ooh,
A
Dragon
weird
Eyes.
in the
sister's
sky.
ornament.
Fireball.
A weird
Fireball.
sister's
Hope I don't
ornament.
die.
What do I think?
I don't know.
I don't either. God, this is a good question though.
A brand new car.
It's a very creative question, Michelle.
A fan bus.
Sack of galleons.
Just money.
fat stack of gallons.
Here's some cash.
How about Florian
Ooh, I know.
Fortescue's No Melt Ice
How about
Cream?
some gold cauldron
Ooh.
or gold scales? Gold scales.
Dragon hide gloves?
That's what she said.
I did say that.
Hello, this is Michael Scott, and
Yeah,
welcome to
sorry.
the office.
Sorry.
I'm gonna go again. Besides T Swift, since this is Michelle again, who would you guys be excited to hear play at the ball? We kind of did this before.
I mean, I really don't care. Like, if Ed Sheeran came in Charlie Weasley, like, I genuinely, obviously love his music. He's my 1 to 2, him and Adele. But I don't want Adele to sing because she most of her songs
Frank
are like,
Sinatra.
Do you stan Ed Sheeran?
Little Rat Pack action.
I stan
Give me
Taylor
some
Swift.
Sammy Davis Jr. and some Dean Martin.
I still really don't understand how to use that word, but I pretend like I know how
What
to.
What word?
I stan Taylor Swift. She's the bop.
What does that mean?
what?
It's like
Don't
she's
ask
my
me, man.
It's like she's
Did
my.
you say I stand Taylor Swift? She's the bop.
Yeah, that's the new word. Instead of like, that's my jam, that's the bop.
Who says that?
That's the bop.
Who said that?
I don't know.
I
I just
feel
heard it. I'm
so-
trying to not be old. I'm
feel
probably sound
so
really old saying it.
Discord, help me. Is bop a thing?
Do you guys know what stan means?
No.
It's like
This one's hard to
You're getting passionate.
comprehend.
Quiet down.
It's really hard to. Okay, I feel so old
say
whenever
it's a
I think
bop?
about the
What
word
does that
stan.
mean?
Bop. It's like that's a jam.
No, you say jam. That's my
It's the
jam.
bop. You say it's
You
the
say
bop.
it's a bop.
I'm not saying that.
Me is a bop.
Oh my god, that's what my little sister would say.
No,
God
it's a
help us all,
song.
Mac.
No, but stan
We're
is
old.
like that's your like one true thing. Like
Like an OT.
So like a OG.
So Katie's not your stan.
No, Katie is my stan.
You just said Taylor Swift was your
But
stan.
Taylor
But, like,
Swift
what
is
if you-
also my stan because she's an artist. She's
But
like
what
my
if you
stan
had,
artist.
What if you had a stan that was a stan? So your stan's a stan.
Yeah.
What if I had an actual stan?
That's what I'm saying.
Katie
My
is
stan is a
Googling definition of stan.
Stan. Do the
An
letters mean things?
overzealous or obsessive fan of a particular celebrity. So it's very
Okay, I'm a
specific
stan of
to a
myself.
celebrity.
It
So
literally
you-
says
My
then
me is my stan.
I'm really not
People
a stan of anything, then.
also use it though as
you're a
like
stan of Adele.
I love Adele and I love Ed.
the song All Too Well.
Yeah.
The best song.
Yeah.
I stan All Too Well. That's what you would say, like, oh, that's
Yeah, the
my one
Eminem
true.
song. It makes me think of Eminem.
Isn't it weird? I don't like it. It's weird.
What is in that movie where it's like, stop
Tea's
fetch.
gone cold.
Stop trying to make fetch a thing. Stop trying to make stan a thing.
It's so fast.
Stop trying to make bop
Yeah,
a
I'm not
thing.
gonna
When I
say
heard
any of
bop, I
that.
was like, I
Come
quit.
on, Stan.
quit.
Stan something. You stan Harry Potter. You stan Dumbledore, actually.
You stan
That's my
Marty.
man. That's my man. All right, we gotta end this.
I
Oh my God.
stan Remus Lupin.
Sarah's gonna pee her pants over there.
I just feel so old.
Fozzie's awake.
I hit
now.
29. I don't understand the English language anymore.
What
Guys,
color?
I'm going to be 29 when
on.
this episode comes out.
I'm not for a while.
My
Less than 6
birthday-
months, sweetheart.
Go away.
My birthday is in 6 days from
Actually,
today,
tomorrow
not when
it'll
this
be
comes out.
5 months. Exactly.
That's great.
Not from when this episode here.
Let me ask another question.
You're correct.
Yeah. Is this the last one?
No,
Okay.
we gotta roll through these fast. Guys, keep talking.
Just do a couple.
Okay.
What color of robes would you have worn? Go.
Black.
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 Lame.
I mean, if anything, I'd wear blue. Blue or red?
Donkey.
Probably red. I look really
Stop.
good in red. Blue also brings out the color of my eyeballs.
Colors. We want me to do.
It's a reflex.
That belt down your throat.
Roy G. Biv. Tiffany would wear vomit green.
No, I wore.
I would also wear
Chartreuse.
I wore navy blue
I'd wear green.
for a dance, and I looked really
Ooh,
nice.
you know what? I think maroon would look nice on
I
you.
was just thinking of red.
Thank you.
I could do like a dark
Lady
green. Sport my Slytherin roots.
E. Dewey 1065 says, "What Harry Potter character would you go with?"
Remus Lupin.
Okay.
in their year, probably Neville. I bet you he'd have the most.
Dude,
fun.
Neville would be a lot
did.
of fun.
Dean.
Yeah, Neville, Dean, or Seamus would be my top three.
But if I didn't have to
Oh, you
pick
know
from
what?
that time
I'd go with-
period, it would
I'd
be
go with Fred.
Remus.
I was going to say Fred.
Or George.
Ooh,
Definitely
yeah, they would
Dean.
be fun.
One of them,
Especially Dean whenever he gets a little bit older. He's really hot.
He's a good looking bro.
Like legit hot.
Grosser.
Grosser.
Andrew Hill, we kind of answered your question about music requests, but I just want to give you a shout. Jughead Jones, Lauren Massapolo, on Twitter. Do you think Ron was a little too harsh with Hermione about Victor being her date?
1,000%.
No, all right, there's
A lot of too harsh.
Or do you think that's something you would have done at that age?
No.
I mean, I would have gotten mad, and I would have probably been a jerk. Straight up.
I just think I would have been the Hermione in that situation. You could have asked me.
I would have. I don't get like outright like that. I'm not going to go like verbally attacking someone,
No.
but I would have been jelly and mad and
I am very good
probably
at being that
if
petty
I
person.
was Ron.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like,
Are you going to say Sonorous?
I don't know.
It'd be like obliviate my bladder.
Okay, let's keep going.
Forget your fool.
Or like Engorgio to like make more room.
Do you think Ron would have, this same person, Jughead Jones, do you think Ron would have acted differently wearing something else he felt less embarrassed in?
Maybe a little.
I think
He was dreading that ball from jump.
Yeah.
Should have gone Starkers like he said.
I mean, Starkers or not. This is from Michelle again. Why do you think there weren't more students trying to be Harry's friends? Why don't you think Fleur went after Harry?
I don't think she
thought
saw
he
him
was
like
a
that.
little boy.
Yeah,
I was
he's a
gonna
little
say,
boy to
she
her.
said-
And trying to be Harry's friends. I don't know. I feel like the students at Hogwarts have like a love-hate relationship with Harry.
I agree.
So
Like,
true.
When he's winning their Quidditch matches and, saving their lives, they like him. But when he's losing them points for getting into mischief and whatnot, they're pretty annoyed. So I don't know. I also think they're kind of used to him now.
Yeah.
Cool input.
He's lame old Harry.
Okay, this one's a little non-chapter related, but is funny all the same. Andy Pacani, I'm sorry, Andy. You're on the Twitter. What is your least popular Harry Potter opinion? Mine is that Dobby is annoying.
That Tiffany talks about it.
That's true. I mean, I find Dobby annoying as well. He doesn't bother me, but
Unpopular Harry Potter opinion. I mean, I don't think it should be an unpopular opinion, but I guess most people think that about their unpopular opinions. But Cursed Child is canon.
That's probably mine as well.
yeah, I'm down with that.
And there ain't nothing you can tell me to think another way.
Well, I mean, she was involved, and if she says it is. So, I don't know. I like Harry Potter.
That's like, honestly, I think that's really my only, like, quote, unpopular
I don't
opinion.
think I have one because I'm the kind of fan that's like,
Yours would probably be that Cursed Child's canon.
Yeah.
yeah, I guess.
Because apparently it's unpopular.
Well, it wasn't. It was with us, but we were, strong enough to admit that. So. Let's go ahead and move on. That was a long lightning bolt round. Give me the fiend.
That was
story.
an intense storm.
Oh, lightning.
Here we go.
Oh,
Thank
I
you.
get it. I
All
get it. I
right.
get
I
it.
gotta hold my wand every time.
So this story this week comes from Nadia Jokinen. Thank you for telling me how to pronounce your name. I hope I did it somewhat justice.
Clutch.
My house at Hogwarts is Hufflepuff, and my Ilvermorny house is Puckwudgie. My wand is Ashwood with a unicorn hair core, 10 inches and quite bendy flexibility. My Patronus is a ragdoll cat.
What?
Which, after reading about them, I just friggin' love. My Potter story begins with me not knowing what Harry Potter was. No one at my school was reading it yet, and then all of a sudden, for my 9th birthday, I get Chamber of Secrets. My mom told me that was the second one, so I didn't even pick it up. I was furious that someone didn't think I needed the first one first. Yeah, I can get that. Mm-hmm. Then my mom bought the first one and started reading it to us kids. I remember every night that summer vacation, my mom would read a couple of chapters to us kids as a bedtime story. At this point, I was hooked. I was begging her to read more and more every night, and I can't remember how many times I got in trouble for reading ahead of the others. Then a year later, my parents divorced, and the Harry Potter books became my sanctuary. I read nothing else. Life went on, and the Harry Potter books continued to come out, but not fast enough for me. Then a month before my 15th birthday, my dad died in a motorcycle accident. Deathly Hallows was just about to come out, and to my surprise and heartache, my dad had pre-ordered it, and it came a couple weeks after his death to my doorstep.
Oh.
My daddy didn't understand my obsession, nor did he think I should be reading so much. I should be playing outside. And here it was. He bought it for me, and I couldn't read it. I wouldn't read it. My dad's last gift to me, and it came after he died. Then about a year after he had gone, after much encouragement from my mama, sitting outside on the back porch, I read the last Harry Potter book cover to cover in tears. Harry Potter is more than a book you read to keep yourself entertained. It's a book where many of my morals and values come from. It shaped me from the time I was 9 years old to now. Now I do read other books, but every summer I always go back to my sanctuary. It keeps me grounded and loved, remembering how my mom read them to us as kids, and even though my dad didn't understand the Harry Potter books, he bought the last one for me. I found your podcast by accident. I listened to your first one. You guys already had like 15 at that point, and I couldn't help myself. I listened to the Harry Potter audiobooks by Stephen Fry, and then I listened to the corresponding podcast episode. Your podcast just lights up my day. Most of my family and friends think I'm a Harry Potter freak and don't understand my love for it. They call it my obsession. She stands it.
I like how you look at me when you say that.
Especially now that I got my puff tattoo. Yes.
Oh, wait. Do we have a picture of it?
I don't think she attaches, so send us a picture.
Please.
But I don't care. Keep making that podcast because to me, you're doing the best work in the world. Thanks for being interested in all our Potter stories and for welcoming me home every podcast. Don't let the muggles get you down.
Ooh.
Oh.
Thank you so much.
That, Nadia, that's
That's a moving story.
Yeah.
that's a crazy story. Like, it's almost like, I don't know if your dad knew or anything. You probably didn't, but it's like, just he's coming back to you from wherever we go, and that's really neat. That's
That
really deep.
is some kind of love, though. He didn't understand. He thought you should be, playing outside more. That's what my parents would have said.
But he knew
I
you
literally
loved it.
hid in the bathroom with books, so I feel you.
I mean, my dad bought them for me. So, like, I get,
But like to
connection.
go and like pre-order, to think to
Yeah.
pre-order that's some kind of love. I like that. Supporting your kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love
Your dad's
that.
great.
And thank you for all the kind words. Like,
Yeah.
that's so sweet. Thank you for
really-
being a part of our
I
community.
feel like we're not, like, worthy.
I know.
We're not worthy.
Dude, that's how I feel every time.
Thank you very much for your
Yes,
story.
Thank you so much. And thanks for being a part of this community.
Correct.
Also, just like to let everybody know, if you want to send us your Potter story, we are always taking them. The best way to get them to us is email us at swishflickcast@gmail.com. Send it in an email.
It's .net.
Shut up. People will think
It's
that.
.com.
Just
Chew that
put-
gum in that mic one more time. That's it.
Oh my
It's
God.
over.
It's
New Ravenclaw.
.com. It's .com.
Send your resumes to .com.
Just .com.
Just throw it in the subject line like Potter story or something.
Yeah.
It catches our attention.
Also,
Yes. Story of
internet.com to
Potter.
download more internet.
The fact that you did that still makes me giggle to this day.
I thought you said it makes you Google, not get.
Makes me Google.
I like internet jokes.
If you guys just can't get enough of us, you can follow us on social media. We're on Facebook at Swish and Flick Podcast and on Twitter and Instagram at Swish Flick Cast. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel where our podcasts are posted as well as vlogs. Also, you can join us on Patreon for exclusive access to the Felix Files, which is our twice-a-month bonus episodes, a chance to be a guest on the Felix Files, and our Zoom Hangouts,
And some
Access to
brand
Discord.
new stuff.
Yes.
brand new posters, brand new stickers,
Brand new level.
letters, brand new levels.
level.
But there is different stuff now in the other levels.
They're
We've
updated.
revamped all of the levels, so check it out to see
Bam.
Levels.
And you can find us there at patreon.com/swishflickcast. Also,
.net.
all of our information is on our website, which is swishflickcast.com.
Megan's gonna hurt someone.
.net.
She's still just rolling though.
Along with all of our merchandise.
I love how you tried to keep rolling, and this is still a.
I just want to
wickedly
point
long
out
episode.
Oh my
to
God.
everybody some merch that we have. We've got a great weekender bag, which could also be great for the beach. We also have some towels.
Love that bag.
And
Legit.
there's
Good
like
bag.
it's called an accessory pouch.
Ooh, yeah, I like that thing
too.
too.
It's nice. It's large. Not look crazy big, but it's a good size.
It's not
It
stupid
comes
small.
in
Like,
two
good stuff.
sizes. There's
What
a
is-
smaller one and a bigger one.
What does Chris Farley say when he's doing this? They say I'm not normal.
But it's also like I use it as a makeup pouch. But it's great. So buy them. They look good together.
I stand our merch.
Oh,
It's
my.
the bop.
I'm not.
You sound like you're speaking a foreign language.
I don't even know what I'm saying.
I've never felt older in my life.
Where did you hear this first?
This pod is on fleek.
That's
Well, I've heard that.
That's out. That's not fetch
Geeks
anymore.
on fleek.
Where did you first hear this? Answer my
Hear
question.
what?
Bop and
Meg
Stanley.
told me about Bob.
Twitter.
I'm calling it Stanley now. It's Stanley.
Stanley.
I'm going to Stanley real hard on this podcast.
That's not even how you use the word, Tiffany.
Whatever, Stanley. This.
Tell me what's going on in your life. Let's keep rolling.
What do you
Tell me
stand within life?
Yeah, what do you stand in life?
I stan Alana and Martin and Fuzz. What have I been doing? Okay, so I'm basically trying to just survive the end of the school year.
Yeah.
By the time this
9
comes
days.
out, you have 4 days.
That is amazing.
That was my wand touching my mic. I apologize.
Yeah, but you don't apologize for your gum, so.
I don't.
What else am I doing?
Sorry. You think this is my first time podcasting? I don't mean to hit my microphone.
I'm going out to dinner tomorrow.
This will be a week ago.
First night, Marty and I away from Alana.
Together.
Yes. It's his first night away from her. Ever?
I don't think that's true.
Where else would he have gone?
Because I'm pretty sure that he was like, we've both been away from her, but not together away. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't remember. Anywho, same time. And what? Mother's Day is Sunday.
You'll have your first Mama's Day.
First Mama's Day with the babe on the outside.
True,
Recording
that's true.
some BB-8 radio probably pretty soon.
BB-8 radio.
That's pretty much what I do. Keeping fit. I'm at pre-pregnancy weight, so that's pretty cute.
Holla.
Working
for
on
you.
building some muscles.
Some muscles.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. It's a day to day, but you know what? It's a beautiful thing.
But that's just like life. Life is day to day.
Oh, Sarah and I are going to go to Columbus to present
I was like, we
at
are.
a teachers conference. I can't remember. It's like a super long name, you guys, and I genuinely can't remember it. But we are going to tell basically the story of Swish, and the conference theme is the magic of why.
That's awesome.
And I'm
really
sure.
bummed that it's during the week and I can't go.
I'm not
because-
sure if it was like formed
work.
around the thought of like having us speak. So I think that's a pretty high compliment.
Interesting. And then they get me, this fool, and Tiffany.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
So-
but I'm making Megan and Katie help with the presentation
Yeah.
stuff.
We'll,
So
we'll do like.
just so you know,
Yeah.
We're in.
and we're gonna have you record some video of you guys talking.
I stand that.
It's only
stand
45-minute
Get
presentation, but you know what? It's probably my biggest presentation since being like in grad school. So
It's
There's
exciting.
that.
I like how
man.
you're looking at me. I haven't done a presentation years. Many, many, many a year.
many moons. Okay, so that's me.
It's me, oh Tiffany. Standing in the light of power.
Oh, should I shout out? Can I shout out a podcast?
No. I don't care.
I just want to shout out Force Toast because they're a great Star Wars podcast.
Agreed.
Not for children.
Agreed.
Children do not listen to it. Parents don't let your children listen to it. We love those girls though. And Tandem Legends.
Sorry.
I just really love Tandem Legends. They do Legend of Zelda.
What's that?
Not your business.
Who's Zelda?
I don't
For the
know.
longest time, I thought that
The-
Link was Zelda.
The person in green.
I did too.
No, you guys. But
Sorry.
yeah, so those are just two really cool
always
podcasts.
I mean,
knew who Zelda
I-
Well,
was.
that's like calling Mario Princess Peach.
True is true.
I mean, but like, I learned my lesson many, many, many years. Like, I've known for a long time that Link is Link and Zelda is Zelda. But I mean,
Yeah, that's good.
I don't know video games.
But yeah, they do a playthrough of
Radio killed the video games? Is that how that goes?
That's not it.
I know.
The Legend of Zelda games in the order of the Hyrule Historia. Timeline has not split
Hyrule.
yet. For those of you who know what I'm talking about.
Hyrule.
Off to you. I keep saying we have to like wrap this up, and I'm the one that keeps talking.
So I do this thing sometimes where I'll go and like fake plan a vacation on Disney's website just to like think of all the cool places and things I could do, but then like I can't afford it, so I can't actually book the vacation. And then for the first time ever, I was on the Disney cruise website and I was doing the
first
same thing. And then I was like, next year is my 30th birthday. I
You
should
old.
go on a Disney cruise to make myself not feel old. So I booked a Disney cruise for my 30th birthday.
I was away from my phone for 20 minutes.
What are you gonna do if you're like 9 months
ran
pregnant, or so pregnant you can't fly?
Well, I guess just cancel.
I'm
You
going.
can cancel.
You can cancel, but I think that
Do
we're
you lose
probably
money?
going to wait a year to start having a baby because we want Megan and Katie time in our own place before
As
we
Meg
do that.
said, we need us time before we become 3.
Smart.
When two
Why do you think I stayed
become
married
three.
so long before?
I just I don't know why I had this thing in my head that I had to like get pregnant before I was 30. I don't know why. It was just like a thing in my head. And then I took a step back like just a couple days ago really, and I was like, Katie and I haven't had time to ourselves, just us in our own living space since before we graduated college, and that was not even for a full year. So we're married. We haven't had really, honestly, like a newlywed phase being on our own at all.
Girl, every day with you is a newlywed phase. Just saying.
I stan you.
I was going to say that to you. Meg, you are the bop to me.
So, like, actually, we did, I think,
Get out.
cross our fingers, hope, find the perfect apartment place for our time now. It might change in the future, but right now,
Did
we
you know that
found what
Our
we
Time
liked.
Is a dating website for old people. Not old people.
Well,
but,
we
like,
are
older
old
than
today.
50, I believe.
I am old. And then, so then we want to like move in, have a year, and then we're going to start. But we're still going to go to our baby appointment next week just to kind of like
It's in the past
learn.
when this comes out.
Yeah, we're going to like learn cost, the process, what testing we need to get done, all of that. Because honestly, there's so much prep that goes into it, and it's like a blessing and a curse as an LGBT couple. We're going to talk about it a lot on our YouTube channel too. But if you guys are interested in hearing about the appointment and stuff, you can go follow us on the Petrus family. We're probably going to have like a sit down talk about it just to like let you guys know what we hear from the doctor. Because I am going into it pretty blind. I don't really know. I mean, I know like generally what I need to get done in order to have a baby, but like I don't know what the cost is and how it works and all that stuff. And
Yeah.
so we want to save up some money too before we start doing it so that we're not like chasing bills, be able to actually. So yeah, because I mean, if the first stage doesn't work the first couple times, we're going to have to switch to IVF, which is incredibly expensive. So you never know.
Yeah.
But that's a huge cost up front. So we should save enough money to be able to pay for the first round of treatments before we have to think about IVF.
Yeah.
Trying to be smart adults.
It's
I think
hard.
it's a good plan.
It sucks being an adult that's smart. Instead of being like, I do what I want.
Yeah.
Makes your credit score go down usually. I mean, I'm not lying.
True words have never been spoken.
No.
Also, we're going back to England in 2020 with my mom.
Oh, that's cool.
So
Are you going to hit up some new spots or are you going to show her some stuff?
we're going to do new stuff and old stuff. We're going to do both.
How long?
Hopefully the same amount of time, like a week and a
half.
couple days.
That's cool.
She wants to see Buckingham Palace, so we're going to go in summer when you can tour it.
Oh, only tour in summer.
She's probably at her summer cottages or something.
She's really going to have a good time then with you guys over there. I see your mom just loving that.
Yeah, and she doesn't really have a travel partner in life because my dad hates traveling, so we are her travel buddies.
That's nice. Do you have anything to add to that? Because that was basically
Yeah, that was a lot
that's
of
you too.
By the time this comes out, I'll be 2 weeks after my surgery. Woo, 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 woo.
You're doing great, rock star.
Thanks.
She's,
Just
if
a
you
little
didn't
sore.
know, she's slowly turning into Remus Lupin.
Yeah, I'm going through different.
She's
Surgeries.
half Remus, half werewolf.
Oh, I thought she was turning into a robot.
It's actually a dinosaur. Sorry, you're both wrong.
Okay. We tried.
Remusaur.
Oh my god.
But she calls herself Miasaur because she's sore from the
I
surgery.
am. Kind of feels like I did a whole bunch of sit-ups, but it's good. It's good. They made Motrin for a reason.
Tiffany's staring at me because she hates me.
Also, hopefully by the time this episode comes out, we will be officially on the wait list for our new apartment.
Yes.
30 people deep. Send us hope and prayers.
Sarah, what you up to? Except hating all the words I'm saying to them.
What are you gonna stand?
You know, BB-8 radio is still a thing. Every other week, we hopefully will be uploading episodes. I'm figuring my life out. I'm going to start applying to schools and possibly a new job. So big things coming. I'll let you guys all know if what happens when it happens. But I don't know yet. Other than that, I'm just living life. Waiting for Tiffany to be done with school so I can hang out with her on my off days. But really hang out with her child because she's super cute.
It's gonna be awesome.
And I've got a crazy full June. So that's my life. I'm also trying to figure out when I can get my hair done because I called today to get an appointment. And my one day, she's like, oh, she doesn't work that day. And I was like, okay,
that's a
I think
bummer.
Is June when you're going to Aruba?
But I've got the bridal shower. I'm going to Geneva. I've got Alana's first birthday, and I've got an Aruba all in June. And Columbus. So a lot of
Columbus,
things.
yeah.
But other than that, I'll let you guys know when my life is really taken off.
Get there fast.
And I really hope because Ed Sheeran released new music today, but by the time it's like a week old, I really can't wait for his new album that hopefully is coming along with it.
Coincidence.
He's copying Taylor.
That's what I was gonna say. Is it a coincidence?
They really tend to like the last time when his
Do they just write together?
when Divide came out. I think they both released an album that year.
Yeah, because they were writing together on the Red Tour.
Because
Jiminy Christmas.
his came out like in March, and then hers came out a couple months later, I believe. It was like the first weekend in March is when his music came out, and I was like obsessed. But yeah,
That's great.
that's my life. Follow me at O'Malley
Oh yeah,
on the gram.
I'm on Twitter at tiffswish_flick.
Follow Katie and I on Twitter and Instagram at the Petrus Family.
Yup.
Living life, living large.
Okay. Well,
Standing.
for Voldemort and Valor,
For Voldemort.
For Voldemort and Valor.
that concludes this week's episode. Thank you so much for listening, and don't let the Muggles get you down.
Amazing! Just my voice!
Are we ready?
No. Okay. Hello and welcome. Oh, gosh, you piece of.